Hello everyone. Today I will introduce to you a new series, the most humorous main character in history, oh no, the strongest main character in history. The story revolves around a main character who is incredibly strong with a super VIP pro-level cultivation talent. However, they are concealed by their master, senior brothers and sisters as just ordinary, and then they undergo a transformation from male to female, and back again. With the extremely cold humor of the main character and their companions, the story becomes even more intriguing. Now, let's begin the story. Let go. Let go. My name is Zhao Xiao Tian, coming from Earth, possessing an incredibly strong healing ability. No matter if it's being hit by a car or shot into a honeycomb. Bombed with an atomic bomb nearby, they just end up in this strange place. But after arriving here, my tragic life truly begins. I am the eldest son of the Zhao family, the richest person in Yangzhou. In just 3 years, I have been kidnapped 99 times. As soon as the kidnapper captured me, he shouted with joy, "I've made a fortune," 32 times. Hostages were killed, some kidnappers said strange things to me, "Are you also my junior sister?" making me unable to understand what was going on. After being kidnapped for the 100th time, I was brought to the Xiaoyao sect by my grandfather. It must be acknowledged that the Xiaoyao sect is huge. While I was attentively observing 2 milk bottles, I suddenly bumped into something. It turns out that in this world, the system of cultivating immortals still exists. Around me are all sorts of martial artists, martial spirits, martial masters, martial generals, and martial kings, which astonishes me greatly. 3 months later, in the Xiaoyao sect, the sect leader, Shen Piaopeng, entered. He is my master, Shen Piaopeng, the #1 strongman in Yangzhou. I wonder what brings you to me today. This master of mine ranks top 3 in the entire kingdom in terms of strength. He could accept me as his disciple, but it's only because I received favors from the Zhao family when I was young, not because of any talent, unlike my senior brothers and sisters. My senior sister is Bai Ling heir, from the Bai family, one of the 10 great noble families in the kingdom. She's said to have shown outstanding talent since birth. At just 17 years old, she's already a strong 4th-grade martial general, known as Xiaoyao Fairy. Behind my senior sister is my ordinary-looking senior brother Zhu Yuanneng. He is currently admiring my senior sister. Senior sister looks so good. Although he has an ordinary appearance, his cultivation is not inferior to my senior sister's. As for me, I have no talent and can only rely on connections, far behind them. At this moment, Shen Piaopeng extended his hand, on which there was a vortex of yin and yang, emitting faint spiritual light. Shen Piaopeng said to Zhao Xiao Tian, "The essence of martial arts lies in the spiritual weapon. All things have spiritual weapons, and martial arts is about integrating the spiritual weapon into the body. You missed the best age for cultivation. Although you've been soaked in medicine for 2 months, it's like pouring salt into the sea. Although I have a way, I can only reluctantly give it a try." He then turned to the other 2 disciples, Ling heir, Yuanneng, "Try your best to awaken your spiritual weapons. I'll reinforce him." Then he turned to Zhao Xiao Tian, "Calm your mind and breathe in the spiritual convergence." Standing before the 3 operating skills, Zhao Xiao Tian began to tremble. Zhu Yuanneng said to Shen Piaopeng, "Master, it's the first time junior brother has felt the spiritual weapon. Even if he tries his best, the chance of failure is very high." Shen Piaopeng angrily said, "Don't bother him." However, the current situation made Zhu Yuanneng startled. Shen Piaopeng also had to turn back to look. Zhao Xiao Tian had felt the spiritual weapon. Looking at Zhao Xiao Tian's trembling figure, gathering the spiritual weapon, it was truly strange. Zhu Yuanneng was also pale at this time, secretly thinking, "Junior brother calms down so quickly." At this moment, drops of sweat kept dripping from Zhao Xiao Tian's face. Then it seemed like Zhao Xiao Tian's soul was drifting somewhere. He startled in horror, "What is this?" Then he began to stare blankly at Shen Piaopeng. Master, there are so many fireflies around. Shen Piaopeng also startled, fireflies? Can you see fireflies? Zhao Shao Tian's eyes brightened, nodding, yes, yes. Master, is this the spiritual weapon? Shen Piaopeng, hearing this, also had to startle in horror. I remember back then when I first felt the spiritual energy, it took me 7 days, even the cat had to curse, damn slow development, but it only took 10 minutes to feel it. What should I call it? It's just a pity that it exceeds sect too late, we have to be strict with it. After that, pretending to be calm, he said to Zhao Shao Tian, not bad, looking like you have no potential, just starting to sense the spiritual weapon already makes you afraid. Remember that your master's spiritual weapon induction speed was still much faster than yours. This statement astonished Zhao Shao Tian. Shen Piaopeng continued, this talent of mine can only be considered temporary. Zhu Yuannang and Bai Ling Er were also scared by their master's words and thought to themselves, in 10 minutes, sensing the spiritual weapon is only passable. Zhao Shao Tian asked Shen Piaopeng, just passable means not good, so my talent is really that bad? Shen Piaopeng explained, sensing the spiritual weapon is just the first step. If the physique is not good, then sensing it faster is useless. The other two were also sweating profusely. Next. Master will teach you the Xiaoyao formula of the Xiaoyao sect. After finishing, Shen Piaopeng drew a diagram of a mysterious 8-trigram figure on Zhao Shao Tian's body, then he explained, this is the movement path of the Xiaoyao formula. Remember it well. At this time, your body is very weak. Don't absorb spiritual weapons casually. Wait until you refine your body with spiritual weapons, then your meridians will be upgraded to a new level never seen before. By then, you will be a martial artist. Zhao Shao Tian asked in amazement, Master, how long will it take for me to become a martial artist? Shen Piaopeng scratched his chin, pondered, and then said. If it were you, it would probably take a year, no, a month for you to experience the sensation of body refining and meridian circulation. Zhao Shao Tian sighed and lamented, oh no. Master, I'm embarrassing the sect. Zhao Shao Tian was furious to the point of tears. I can't believe it takes even me a month to accede to the sect. I have to try my best to catch up with everyone. Shen Piaopeng immediately waved his hand to reassure, don't be so hard on yourself. Your talent is only slightly inferior to mine. When beginning to absorb spiritual weapons for body refining, you have to rely on your own strength to give it a try. Upon hearing this, Zhao Shao Tian began to sit down and concentrate. The spiritual weapons continued to move around him. Seeing this scene, all three fell into silence. Suddenly, a purple lightning bolt appeared in front of Zhao Shao Tian, then shot straight into his forehead. Zhao Shao Tian's body kept trembling, as if undergoing fusion, then Zhao Shao Tian suddenly exhaled. This action puzzled Shen Piaopeng, Zhu Yuannang, and Bai Ling Er. Zhu Yuannang exclaimed, is it over with just one tremor? I'll call you Big Brother from now on. This is spiritual weapon body refining, little brother, don't joke with me. At least show some reaction. Then streams of spiritual weapons converged into Zhao Shao Tian's dantian. Shen Piaopeng thought to himself, it's been 7 days, but it seems the body hasn't reached its limit yet. Could he be a genius in martial arts? Zhu Yuannang turned purple and muttered to himself, don't react like that. Shen Piaopeng looked at Zhao Shao Tian and exclaimed, with such talent, he will surely surpass me in the future. Suddenly, an elder shouted, Sect Master, something's wrong. The internal disciples have reported chaos at the northern border. Please go and suppress it quickly. Shen Piaopeng was surprised, the northern border. Could it be the Du Empire? Then he turned to his 2 disciples and said. Ling Er, Yuannang, take good care of the junior brother. Guide him in cultivation. His foundation is not bad, but remember not to rush, then he whispered to Zhu Yuannang, also, don't let him become too arrogant. This confused the elder, not understanding what was happening. After Shen Piaoping left, Zhu Yuanning asked Bai Ling Er, senior sister, what does master's last sentence mean? Bai Ling Er fell silent, not saying a word. At this point, Zhu Yuanning started guessing, oh, I see, does master want us to pressure the junior brother? Then he chuckled to himself, it seems that master is deeply distressed, so he's giving us this opportunity. Then he returned to Zhao Shao Tian and said, junior brother, quickly come here to give your senior brother some love, comma. Suddenly, Zhu Yuanning was startled, his eyes widened in surprise. When he saw that Zhao Shao Tian was still absorbing spiritual weapons, he turned pale and said to himself, damn. 11 days, why is the talent of this little junior brother so terrifying? Then he turned to Bai Ling Er and asked, senior sister, how many days did it take for you to absorb spiritual weapons for the first time? Senior sister. Your senior sister has turned off, so she didn't respond. Zhu Yuanning felt ignored, so he sighed and said to himself, ah. When will junior brother finish his cultivation? Senior brother's skills are itching. Time passed quietly. Zhu Yuanning was waiting impatiently, almost turning into stone because he had maintained the same posture for too long. His soul had to escape, and then he exclaimed, master is really biased. It's been 39 days already. What kind of medicine did he give him? Suddenly, a sword was pressed against Zhu Yuanning's neck, startling him. Then he sweated profusely and asked, senior sister. Bai Ling Er said disgustedly, be quiet for a moment, he's about to wake up. Over here, Zhao Shao Tian was slowly opening his eyes, then looking down at his hand and thinking, is this the power of a martial artist? At this point, Zhu Yuanning suddenly remembered something, immediately making a stupid expression, then hurriedly ran over and used 2 fingers to poke Zhao Shao Tian, then asked, does it hurt? Zhao Shao Tian said, ah, then blushed and said, it only hurts a little, second senior brother. Zhu Yuanning thought, master, even without your instruction, I will fulfill my duty. Then he grabbed Zhao Shao Tian's arm and raised it, saying, yes, it's painful. If you want to become a martial artist, you have to cultivate for 100 days. You're far behind, junior. Zhao Shao Tian stuttered, senior brother, I know. My physique is far inferior to senior brother and senior sisters. I will definitely try twice as hard. After hearing this sentence, Zhu Yuanning wanted to be so fucking depressed. Listen, is this what you should say? Are you going to let us live anymore? Zhao Shao Tian turned to Bai Ling Er and called softly. Senior sister. Bai Ling Er approached with her sword and said, cultivation is over, causing enough trouble. I'll take you 2 out for a walk. Zhao Shao Tian asked in surprise, go out for a walk. Meanwhile, Zhu Yuanning looked horrified and said, could it be? Immediately Bai Ling Er's sword shot out at lightning speed, it was like flying chickens and dogs running. Zhao Shao Tian sat on Bai Ling Er's sword and flew away, immediately screaming, comma. Next, Bai Ling Er still calmly wielded the sword, while the 2 children sitting behind were terrified. Zhao Shao Tian asked fearfully Zhu Yuanning, senior brother, is senior sister's speed a bit too fast? Zhu Yuanning was frothing at the mouth, saying, junior brother, this is because your foundation is lacking. Zhao Shao Tian also shouted in fear, brother, you're not calm at all. Yuanning, acting as a tour guide, said to Zhao Shao Tian, it's a rare opportunity. Senior brother will introduce you to the terrain of the Xiaoyao sect. Zhao Shao Tian shouted, do you have to be so professional? Meanwhile, Bai Ling Er's flying sword continued at a super speed. Zhu Yuanning began explaining, just now we passed the herb field of the Xiaoyao sect. Over there is Herb Valley. The white light over there is the Tsu Bamboo Lotus. Zhao Shao Tian, bewildered, murmured, suddenly acting out. Zhu Yuanning pointed towards a steel building and said, that terrifying steel building over there is the law enforcement hall. There's a fierce elder with a cute little junior sister, such a beautiful granddaughter. The grand elder is Xiao Tong Hai, the second elder is Zhu Jingzai, and the third elder is Jiang Lianxi. They are differentiated by living on 3 mountains, Yang, Zhao, and Chao. Zhao Xiao Tian, once again bewildered, asked, "Can those 3 fight too?" Zhu Yuanning continued, "Unfortunately, the 4th sect master is away on official business. This is behind the mountain, where there are many spirit beasts. The terrain is treacherous, serving as the protective barrier of our sect against nature. It's also the secret place where your senior brother sneaks off to cultivate." Zhao Xiao Tian praised, "Wow! Senior brother is amazing." Suddenly, the flying sword abruptly stopped, and they all descended. Zhu Yuanning cheerfully said, "Little junior brother, we've arrived. Rest well, and I'll come find you again tomorrow." Zhao Xiao Tian descended, still feeling dizzy, and managed to make it back to his own house. After slamming the door shut, Yuanning glanced at Bai Ling Er and thought to himself, "Hee, both master and junior brother are gone now. It's just me and senior sister left. Senior sister is truly beautiful." Suddenly, Bai Ling Er turned to Zhu Yuanning and asked, "Am I beautiful?" Zhu Yuanning spurted blood from his nose, then thought, "Damn, senior sister is asking me if she's beautiful. Did I hear wrong?" He hurriedly said, "Beautiful, beautiful. Truly a celestial being." Suddenly, Zhu Yuanning sensed something amiss, so he exclaimed, "Huh," in surprise, then nervously stammered, "Senior sister, listen to my explanation, no. Wait. Senior sister, spare me." He said, then punches and kicks kept coming. Zhao Xiao Tian sighed, "The bond between senior brother and senior sister is really good." Switching scenes, the next morning, Zhao Xiao Tian exclaimed in horror, "Ah!" He stumbled. Looking at the 2 round milk bottles on his chest, then exclaimed in horror, why am I turned into a girl?" Suddenly, a voice from outside echoed in, "Little junior brother, are you awake?" "We're coming in," Zhao Xiao Tian panicked, thinking, "Oh no, it's second senior brother." Then he hurriedly said, "Wait a moment." Zhu Yuanning and Bai Ling Er entered. Zhu Yuanning teased, "Slowpoke, do you even know what time it is now?" Suddenly, the scene before them startled both of them. Zhu Yuanning called out to Zhao Xiao Tian, "Junior brother." Zhao Xiao Tian peeked out from behind the curtain, widened his eyes, his cheeks blushing slightly as he replied, "Senior brother." Seeing the expression of his junior brother like this, Zhu Yuanning sighed, then frowned, thinking, "Today, this little junior brother is acting strange, making me feel very uneasy." Zhao Xiao Tian, innocently, asked, "Senior brother, what's wrong with your face?" After hearing this, Zhu Yuanning pretended to cough and said, "Ahem, last night, your senior brother practiced with demon beasts." Then he made a pitiful expression and said to Zhao Xiao Tian, "Compared to this, your face today is as rosy as a woman's. Should senior brother check your pulse?" Zhao Xiao Tian quickly reminded, senior brother behind you." But Zhu Yuanning insisted, "It's useless. Even if the emperor came today, senior brother would still check your pulse." Suddenly, Bai Ling Er's voice came, "Oh, is that so? Do you know who your senior sister is accompanying today?" Zhu Yuanning was startled and turned back, "With whom?" "Of course, it's senior sister." Bai Ling Er, now standing behind Zhu Yuanning like a demon, made him sweat profusely. Yuanning pleaded, "Could you not hit my face?" But Bai Ling Er just laughed mischievously and said, "Guess." Then Bai Ling Er slapped Zhu Yuanning, twisting his mouth, and he flew 100 meters back, crashing into the wall. Zhao Xiao Tian, worried, asked, "Senior brother, are you okay?" Meanwhile, Bai Ling Er was wiping her hands, and Yuanning was crawling out of the rubble, saying, "I'm fine. Your senior sister's hand is indeed soft, hee hee." Then he dropped his hands down. Strange, I saw an old lady standing on the other side of the bridge, referring to the powerful lady at the Naihe bridge. Zhao Shao Tian, wide-eyed with horror, said to Bai Ling Er, "Senior sister, senior brother is not okay." Bai Ling Er, with a cold tone, said, "Be careful. If you don't speak anymore, you'll be next." Zhao Shao Tian thought to himself, if senior sister said so, then I guess. Then he began to tell the whole story from start to finish, keeping the juicy part for Bai Ling Er to hear. Senior sister, actually, Everyone was shocked to hear. What? Zhao Shao Tian looked worried and said, "It's all like that. Senior brother, senior sister, I has turned into a woman. What should we do?" Zhu Yuanneng clenched his fists and said, "How could this be? Isn't there something good about it too? Junior brother, quickly tell senior brother what book you read last night." Bai Ling Er punched Zhu Yuanneng, breaking his mouth. "Shut up first," then turned to Zhao Shao Tian and said, "Your meridians are not okay, probably due to cultivating too quickly. Spread power will do." Both Zhao Shao Tian and Zhu Yuanneng were stunned, wondering, spread power? Then they displayed a mischievous expression, thinking, so we can fight now. And then the two of them walked out together. Zhu Yuanneng said to Zhao Shao Tian, "Junior brother, not junior sister, let senior brother take care of you." Zhao Shao Tian replied, "Senior brother, last night I was also cultivating, so senior brother must exert yourself." Zhu Yuanneng reassured, Don't. Senior brother is afraid of hurting you." Seeing this scene, Bai Ling Er sweated profusely. Are they idiots? Transitioning to the arena, both Zhao Shao Tian and Zhu Yuanneng were armed to the teeth. Zhu Yuanneng said to Zhao Shao Tian, "Little junior brother, the blade has no eyes, don't blame senior brother for being unintentional." Zhao Shao Tian retorted, "Senior brother, how could you not know what strength is? The equipment on me is several times better than yours." Zhu Yuanneng replied, "Oh. Already starting to look down on senior brother? Little junior brother is growing up." Zhao Shao Tian replied, "It's nothing, senior brother." While the two of them were still fighting with each other, Bai Ling Er was still sitting on the platform observing. Then she became furious to the point of turning purple because these two were only engrossed in verbal sparring. While the two were still verbally sparring with each other, Bai Ling Er remained seated on the platform observing. She became so furious that her face turned purple as these two were only engrossed in verbal sparring. In Bai Ling Er's eyes, they looked like two chicks chirping at each other. Unable to bear it any longer, she burst out in anger, "You've been arguing for nearly an hour now, are you going to start any time soon?" Then she sent down spiritual energy towards the two chicks, causing them to jump around to avoid it. Zhao Shao Tian, startled and frightened, exclaimed, "Is it an earthquake?" Zhu Yuanneng then shouted back, "Senior sister, don't fight, these are the prey of mine." Bai Ling Er, infuriated, exclaimed loudly, "Then start now." Zhu Yuanneng put on a show of saying, "Junior brother, senior brother will graciously give you a chance, instead of later accusing senior brother of bullying you." Zhao Shao Tian tied his hair up and thought, 3 months of training, I can finally put it into practice. He then said, "All right, I won't hold back anymore." Zhu Yuanneng, seeing Zhao Shao Tian's confident demeanor, thought to himself, yesterday, junior brother just completed his body, why isn't he a bit nervous when sparring with my cultivation martial spirit like this? Could it be that he still has another trick up his sleeve? Zhao Shao Tian recalled the time 3 months ago. Carrying the classic spiritual weapon seal can form a technique, isn't this Sakura? Senior brother, sorry, Zhao Shao Tian then blew out a flame, followed by chanting some strange mantras. Zhu Yuanneng, startled and horrified, exclaimed, "What's this? Junior brother, you indeed hid your trump card." Zhu Yuanneng, frightened, yelled, "Stop it." Then he grabbed Zhao Shao Tian's head in anger and growled, "Junior brother, dare you tease senior brother? Do you not need this head anymore?" Zhao Shao Tian, also horrified, exclaimed, why not this world, do it like this when you make a big move. Zhu Yuanning then continuously slapped Zhao Xiaotian's butt and said, daring to threaten senior brother, huh? Zhao Xiaotian, shocked, exclaimed, senior brother. I won't do it again. Then, Zhu Yuanning, using his hand to clamp Zhao Xiaotian's back, said, try this move, and this one too, then struck Zhao Xiaotian's back. After that, Zhu Yuanning put on a lecherous face, raised both hands, and said, there's more. Zhao Xiaotian, seeing this, was also shocked and quickly used his hands to protect his chest, saying, senior brother, please stop. Zhu Yuanning, seeing this, murmured to himself, damn, these are all gather chi moves. However, in the end, junior brother was still just a martial artist in body refining, and I didn't need spiritual weapons. But when he saw Zhao Xiaotian's fist swinging towards him, Zhu Yuanning was shocked and frightened. Wait, this is. Then, there was a loud explosion, the ground shook, and dust filled the air. Zhao Xiaotian was knocked backwards due to the shock, and upon seeing the dust cloud in front of him, Zhao Xiaotian anxiously asked, senior brother, are you okay? Then he looked down at his body and exclaimed, am I healed? Later, Zhu Yuanning cautiously stepped out and said, what's going on? What kind of joke is this? Even my spiritual weapon is fine, how could this happen? Junior brother. Look, senior brother has allowed you to recover. Zhao Xiaotian happily said, that's right, senior brother is amazing. Then the two of them walked away together, leaving Bai Ling Er speechless. The two of them said to each other, but senior brother, why does your body smell like grilled meat? Oh, is junior brother hungry? Let's go eat. Tomorrow, senior brother will take junior brother out for a walk behind the mountain, okay? Sure, senior brother. Bai Ling Er looked at the ruins and exclaimed, Master, what kind of monster did you wake up? Scene transition to the dining hall. As soon as the other disciples saw the two approaching, they exclaimed. Don't come over here. Zhu Yuanning asked in surprise, junior brother, when they saw you, they ran away. What have you done recently? Zhao Xiaotian, seeing Zhu Yuanning's torn clothes from behind, asked, senior brother, feeling chilly from behind. Scene transition, Zhao Xiaotian was meditating in his room. He began to count, 102, 103, 104, 105. At this point, it seemed that his meridians had been severed. Zhao Xiaotian appeared suspicious, I can't transport it. Scene transition to the next day in a temple. Zhu Yuanning said to Zhao Xiaotian, junior brother, today senior brother will teach you the method of gather chi. Then Zhu Yuanning's hands stopped two spiritual weapon balls. Then he rode on a cloud and threw the two spiritual weapon balls into the waterfall. Looking at the scene of the waterfall, Zhu Yuanning fell silent for a while, as it seemed the result was not as he had expected. Then he turned back and said loudly to Zhao Xiaotian, that's roughly it, did junior brother see it clearly? Zhao Xiaotian, sweating profusely, said, I saw it clearly, senior brother is amazing. But actually, he didn't see anything at all. Zhu Yuanning said solemnly, it's junior brother's turn next. Zhao Xiaotian immediately stood up straight and began to channel energy into his palms. His hands shook for a while. Zhu Yuanning, seeing this, stroked his chin thoughtfully, strange, didn't junior brother succeed in gathering chi last night? Why isn't it working today? Moreover, not only is it not continuously gathering chi, I can't even sense a bit of the spiritual weapon. Could it be? He then dumbly asked Zhao Xiaotian, junior brother, tell the truth, how many days has it been since you used the Xiaoyao formula? Zhao Xiaotian stuttered, 100, then firmly said, 105 days, as if the words were piercing straight through Zhu Yuanning. Zhu Yuanning deliberately said. Very good, indeed worse than senior brother thought, junior brother should do body refining of the meridians. This statement made Zhao Xiaotian panic, Zhu Yuanneng continued to explain, when spiritual weapons enter the body, they will gather in Dantian. If you want to mobilize spiritual weapons, you must borrow the power of the meridians. Strong meridians can of course mobilize more spiritual weapons. Weapon. If the spiritual weapon strengthens the meridians, it will weaken, leading to damage to the meridians. Damaged meridians are very difficult to recover. At this time, you can only listen to God's will. Just follow the method I used to refine your body's meridians. Zhao Xiaotian sighed yes to Zhu Yuanneng. Seeing his junior brother quickly settling into cultivation, Zhu Yuanneng turned to Bai Ling Er and said, "Senior sister, the taskmaster assigned seems a bit challenging. You should go ask him when he'll return. If he won't be back soon, it's fine for me to go." Suddenly, a voice asked, "Yuanneng, where are you headed?" Zhu Yuanneng dumbfoundedly thought to himself, "Oh no, it's master. What's happening?" "So, Gu Elder has arrived?" Gu Elder then asked, "Why can't I come?" This old man is the law enforcement elder, Gu Yuan. The object under his feet is an intermediate-grade magical weapon, the greedy pot, Bai Ling Er noted. Seeing Gu Yuan, Bai Ling Er immediately respectfully greeted. Ling Er pays respects to Gu Elder. Upon hearing this, Gu Yuan said, "Ling Er, you go ahead and cultivate first. I have some matters to discuss with Yuanneng." Seeing his senior sister leave, Zhu Yuanneng desperately called out, "Senior sister, please don't go." Gu Yuan coldly reminded, "Yuanneng, do you know your offense?" At this point, Zhu Yuanneng panically thought, "Oh no, master probably heard everything." Zhu Yuanneng quickly turned to Gu Yuan and said, "Gu Elder, I understand my mistake. I will go to the stone inscriptions and recite the rules 100 times. Gu Yuan coldly asked, "Is 100 times enough?" Zhu Yuanneng quickly replied, "Or how about 500 times, we can finish before nightfall." "But about junior brother's cultivation?" Gu Yuan snorted coldly, and Zhu Yuanneng hastily said, "I'll go now, elder. Junior brother is bothering you." Watching Zhu Yuanneng leave, Gu Yuan held a lengthy report and thought, this little guy received reports from over 300 female disciples in just 7 days. How did he find the time for that? And he's not even cultivating. If only everyone were as obedient as Ling Er. 3 hours later, Zhao Xiaotian opened his eyes and was surprised to find his senior brother and sister gone, leaving only an elderly man in front of him. Gu Yuan asked Zhao Xiaotian, "Finished with cultivation?" Zhao Xiaotian obediently replied, "Yes, elder, but I feel like there may have been a slight issue with the cultivation. Some things seemed too straightforward." After hearing this, Gu Yuan turned back and asked, "Simple?" He then thought, young people these days are truly reckless. I remember having to go through this myself. His affection is being a disciple of the sect master, he's being treated this way. Gu Yuan warned Zhao Xiaotian, the path of cultivation always comes with danger. How can you call it straightforward? Young people should not be arrogant, they should approach cultivation with sincerity. Otherwise, the consequences will be unpredictable. Zhao Xiaotian retorted, "That's not it. It's just that after half a day of cultivation, I felt like there weren't any difficulties. I've already refined all 12 primary meridians and the 8 extraordinary meridians." Upon hearing this, Gu Yuan was shocked. Refining all meridians? Do you know how much time that would take? Do you think I'm easily fooled? Then, he continued, "Brave Xiaotian, in front of the elder, how dare you glare and talk nonsense to deceive me?" Zhao Xiaotian, frightened, said, "God is my witness, elder, I really did not lie to you." Gu Yuan coldly responded with a grunt, "Whether it's true or false, I'll know soon." He then cast a spell and summoned a beast from the pond. "Bian, examine his 12 primary meridians and 8 extraordinary meridians for me." Immediately, Zhao Xiaotian was surrounded by water, and he became alarmed. "What is this? Gu Yuan observed Zhao Shao Tian and concluded, the meridians have indeed been refined, though there have been injuries. However, they've healed. Could everything he said be true? No, how could there be such natural talent? It must be the effect of the medicine bath the sect master gave. He then ordered the beast, buy-in, retreat, and Zhao Shao Tian was released. I almost died just now, Zhao Shao Tian said. Gu Yuan told Zhao Shao Tian, do you know that without the master's medicine bath 3 months ago, you would still be struggling to enter the sect? You should thank your master, Zhao Shao Tian thought to himself, so, it's all thanks to the medicine bath. Then, he obediently said to Gu Yuan, yes, I understand, elder. Gu Yuan cautioned him, today's matter must not be mentioned to anyone. I have other matters to attend to, so I won't pressure you further. Continue your cultivation. Zhao Shao Tian respectfully said, elder, please go about your business. Come to think of it, Gu elder's temper is somewhat similar to grandfather's. I wonder how he is now. He used to worry a lot after being kidnapped multiple times. Suddenly, Zhao Shao Tian noticed someone hiding behind a tree. He shouted, who's there? At this moment, the person hiding in the tree appeared and said, Zhao Shao Tian, finally let me find you. Zhao Shao Tian asked in fear, who are you? The other person spoke up. Junior brother, don't be afraid, it's me. Seeing Zhu Yuanning show his face, Zhao Shao Tian quickly asked, senior brother. Zhu Yuanning scratched his head and smiled and said, hi, junior brother, I'm looking for you, it's very hard. Zhao Shao Tian reprimanded, senior brother, you keep yelling secretly, I thought you were an assassin. Zhu Yuanning hastily reassured, don't worry, junior brother, there are high levels in Xiaoyao sect. Guardian, there will be no assassins. Come on, we said we would take you to the back of the mountain for a walk today. Zhao Shao Tian stammered and said, but senior brother, aren't you being punished by your elder for copying the rules now? These words actually caused Zhu Yuanning to be fatally stabbed. Zhu Yuanning propped his chin and said, junior brother has changed, but he's suspicious of senior brother. Just the rules can make things difficult for me. I heard patrolman junior brother say, behind the mountain, demon beasts were discovered. If you go at night, you won't see them anymore. After hearing this, Zhao Shao Tian let out a gasp and asked, demon beasts? Wait, I'll go too. Above the sky suddenly appeared an eagle, then it landed on someone's shoulder on top of the mountain. There was a group of people wearing masks, dressed like ninjas. The guy wearing the demon mask laughed, speaking. Ha, Zhao Shao Tian, I have finally waited for you to leave the mountain gate. Come along, this time you must get his head for me. The subordinates immediately complied. Meanwhile, Zhao Shao Tian continued to follow Zhu Yuanning, looking around anxiously. After a while, he asked Zhu Yuanning, senior brother, did you hear any sounds? Zhu Yuanning replied, no, did you mishear something? Suddenly, ahead of them, there were several demon beasts leaping on the cliffs. Zhu Yuanning appeared surprised, those are the lowest ranked fire chickens. I didn't expect to encounter their nest on the outskirts of this mountain range of demon beasts. It seems our luck isn't bad. Little junior brother. These chickens may not be powerful, but they taste extremely good. I'll let you taste them, Zhu Yuanning cast a spell and thought, but with so many chickens, which one to pick? Suddenly, he noticed something and exclaimed, why does that one look like it's sunburnt? Quite interesting, matches my aesthetic. That's you. Zhu Yuanning shouted softly, go, and a spiritual weapon split into two, capturing 2 chickens immediately. Immediately the 2 chickens were pulled up, they were startled and frightened, cluck, 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 cluck. Zhao Shao Tian looked at Zhu Yuanning holding the 2 chickens in both hands and said, senior brother, it seems like your spiritual weapon was expanded just now. Zhu Yuanning said again, don't worry about these small things, junior brother, quickly prepare the firewood. A moment later, Zhu Yuanning said to Zhao Shao Tian, junior brother, stop, otherwise I really have nothing left to eat. Zhao Xiao Tian at this time was like a wolf saying to the sheep, be good senior brother, but, there's a lot, Zhu Yuanning said in panic, you little junior brother. Then swallowed all the meat and said, senior brother didn't lie to you. Right, there's really nothing left. Zhao Xiao Tian was bored. Frustrated, he shouted, it's too much, I won't leave you a single piece. Zhu Yuanning quickly reassured Zhao Xiao Tian, it's okay, senior brother will catch me another one later, then thought, next time, bring senior sister to try too. At the same time, inside a bush, the man wearing the demon mask was still silent. He waited for a moment and then said, it's time, take action. The order was given, and immediately several dark shadows rushed forward. Towards Zhu Yuanning and Zhao Xiao Tian, Zhu Yuanning felt something and then thought. Why do I feel like there's an evil energy, is it an illusion? However, at this moment, Zhu Yuanning noticed a flying trident approaching. He quickly created a defensive spell to block the tridents. This isn't good, it's an ambush. Junior brother, run. With his injured eye, Zhu Yuanning turned back to Zhao Xiao Tian and said, junior brother. Zhao Xiao Tian also urged Zhu Yuanning, senior brother, run fast. But Zhao Xiao Tian's body was now covered in blood. Seeing this, Zhu Yuanning felt extremely shocked and tried to run back to where Zhao Xiao Tian had fallen. He yelled, junior brother. Meanwhile, the masked demon chuckled gleefully, haha, useless person remains useless in the end. How easy and smooth it was. Upon hearing this, Zhu Yuanning trembled with anger, hugged Zhao Xiao Tian's bloodied body, and yelled, shut up, I'll make you pay, his anger reaching its peak. He screamed loudly, then pulled out a sword from the spell array and swung it towards the masked demon, who raised his hand to defend. The sword immediately cut through his arm. Spraying blood everywhere, terrifying, this little guy also has some skills. But your opponent is not just one person, he said, then punched Zhu Yuanning hard in the back. When Zhu Yuanning reacted, the masked figure struck again. Zhu Yuanning dodged, then swung his sword towards the masked figure. Just then, the ground seemed to crack, and suddenly something flew out from the ground towards Zhu Yuanning, grabbing him with its feet. One person used his legs to grip Zhu Yuanning tightly and said to his comrades, got him, quick, move. Zhao Xiao Tian saw this and was horrified, thinking, senior brother, be careful, they're not ordinary assassins. Suddenly, a large hand struck down on Zhu Yuanning's head. Zhu Yuanning jerked in shock, since when? The large masked figure shouted, AAA, got you now, die. Then he pressed down forcefully, and immediately the ground caved in, but Zhu Yuanning was nowhere to be seen, leaving the masked figure bewildered. Zhu Yuanning had circled behind him and said, didn't expect an assassin to be skilled in martial arts too. Who sent you here in the end? He then delivered a powerful kick. Suddenly, Zhu Yuanning seemed to realize something, hearing explosions and feeling vibrations on his face. Zhu Yuanning thought to himself, this heat, could you not be human? This realization made Zhu Yuanning shudder in horror. At this moment, the masked figure said to the masked demon, boss, and the masked demon ordered, finish him quickly, don't let him escape. Go attack Zhao Xiao Tian. The subordinate immediately obeyed. Then another assailant quickly attacked Zhu Yuanning. Zhu Yuanning raised his sword to defend, then noticed another assailant aiming for Zhao Xiao Tian. Zhu Yuanning didn't hesitate to kick the attacker, causing him to cough up blood. Then he rushed towards the one preparing to attack Zhao Xiao Tian. Seeing Zhu Yuanning quickly shielding Zhao Xiao Tian, the attacker was startled. He thought, your speed is too fast, but you've fallen into my trap, then suddenly jumped to another place and shouted loudly, let die together with your junior brother. Just then, Zhu Yuanning spotted someone charging towards him. It turned out to be the masked demon leader, who reached out to strike. Unable to evade in time, Zhu Yuanning fell under the curse. It's true, really dead. Immediately, Zhu Yuanneng was pressed against the rock wall by the masked man with a bang, and then continuously thrown Zhu Yuanneng around. The masked man slammed Zhu Yuanneng's head into the rock wall, causing debris to scatter. Then, he threw Zhu Yuanneng down to the ground and punched and kicked him relentlessly. Zhu Yuanneng's entire body was struck all over. Finally, the masked man delivered a full-force punch, producing loud, booming sounds. The masked man's comrades stood dumbfounded, watching. Miraculously, Zhu Yuanneng still stood, though his whole body trembled. The masked man was shocked, thinking, this little guy is tough, he still hasn't fallen. Then draw an O-shaped eye and an A-shaped mouth open to its full size as he saw Zhu Yuanneng charging to deliver a punch. He still has the strength to fight back, he cursed silently, fool, you're just an egg hitting a rock. Then shouting, die for me, the masked man launched a punch straight at Zhu Yuanneng's face. But before that, he was also struck in the face by Zhu Yuanneng's punch. The masked leader spat blood from his mouth and his body was jolted back several tens of meters. On the other side, Zhu Yuanneng slid across the ground, struggling to regain his balance before also spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. The subordinates hurriedly supported the masked leader, exclaiming, "Boss!" The masked leader quickly said, "I'm fine, quickly go kill Zhao Xiaotian." Meanwhile, Zhu Yuanneng had collapsed to the ground, and the assassins shouted, "Good opportunity, the little guy is unconscious, seize the moment, seeing the assassins preparing to stab Zhao Xiaotian, Zhu Yuanneng reached out into the air, thinking, "Junior brother, what is this? In the end, I can't protect anyone." He then remembered the scene of his parents being assassinated 10 years ago. In Bamboo Dragon Kingdom, a boy boldly walked out and spoke loudly, "I won't practice that old skill of yours, Dad. It's too outdated." This was Zhu Yuanneng at age 7. His father, angry, said, "Little guy, this is the martial art passed down through the generations of our Zhu family, it's not an ancient technique." Zhu Yuanneng, turning his back and whistling, said, "I don't care. If you want to practice, do it yourself. I'm going to play." His father gritted his teeth in frustration, "Little guy." Zhu Yuanneng turned and left, whistling. Suddenly, his mother rushed in and said, "Children's father, something's wrong. Yesterday, a group of people with this symbol on their carriage came to town." Zhu Yuanneng's father was shocked, this is definitely the symbol of the Zhu family hunters. His mother urged, "We must escape quickly." But Zhu Yuanneng's father objected, "But Yuanneng is still outside." Just then, a group of people appeared on the roof. Zhu Yuanneng's father thought, "It seems it's too late," and gestured to his wife, "Lady, take our son and leave." Suddenly, a large man appeared, laughing, haha, trying to escape. Without the Zhu family captain's orders. None of you will get away. Hand over the family's secret manual, and I'll give you a quick death. The captain was immediately struck down, lying on the ground. Is this the strength of our family? The subordinates were shocked, screaming, "Captain!" Zhu Yuanneng's father cracked his knuckles, thinking, luckily, they only sent a few people. Just then, a barrier appeared in the sky. A foot stepped out of the barrier, and a voice said, "I heard that the Zhu family are all experts, but today I see they are nothing." At this time, a man holding a sword and a snake wrapped around his body appeared in the sky. Zhu Yuanneng's father thought, "This violent aura, since when?" He then asked, "Who are you? Why do you interfere with Zhu family matters?" The man sneered, "Interfere with your Zhu family? I'm just here to discipline the disobedient dogs of my master." This man was a spirit of the demon sword, a level A threat. He slashed a terrifying sword, splitting a corner of the courtyard. If it weren't for my playful nature, my family wouldn't have died 10 years ago. Returning home, the horrifying scene made Zhu Yuanneng dumbfounded. He screamed, "Mom, Dad!" His father had 2 swords piercing him, and the demon sword spirit choked him. Yuan Neng, run. The spirit asked, is this the eldest son? Perfect timing. I'll take your body. He lunged at Zhu Yuanneng, and his father shouted. Yuanneng, that thing is a spirit sword. If this continues, he'll take over your body. His father used a forbidden technique to trap the spirit sword's soul. The spirit sword cursed, fool, do you want to seal me in your son's body? We'll both die. Zhu Yuanneng's father countered, no, you're wrong. My son won't die because, he has a natural sword body, Zhu Yuanneng said, stop joking, old man. The pain from the spirit sword swallowing him was nothing compared to the loss of his family. Thinking of this, Zhu Yuanneng threw 2 punches at the assassins trying to kill Zhao Xiaotian. The 2 were blasted away by the force of his punches. Seeing his subordinates embedded in the rock wall, the leader thought, scaring others. How is this little guy still standing? At this moment, Zhu Yuanneng stood firm, exuding black energy. His hands were gathering spiritual weapons, creating an intimidating scene. The entire place fell silent. Zhu Yuanneng formed a magic formula and said reluctantly, if I could, I wouldn't use this move because it makes me look like him. Zhu Yuanneng used his sword body, immediately his body changed, and there was a snake like that of the demon of spirit sword. Then Zhu Yuanneng waved his hand, the long sword moved from afar, then the long sword flew towards him, he used his hand to grasp the sword tightly, Zhu Yuanneng immediately swung his sword and aimed at the 3 men. When the assassin attacked, a line of sword chi swept across. Luckily, the 3 men ducked to avoid it, otherwise their bodies would have been split in half. The leader trembled, the spiritual weapon is so strong, it's like he's a different person. I can't hold on. Another sword chi slashed, forcing the leader to dodge and run, realizing. This little guy is still chasing me, damn it. Zhu Yuanneng leaped into the air, preparing to strike with his sword, creating a vortex aimed at the masked leader. A deafening explosion followed, and the area was covered in smoke and dust. Zhu Yuanneng approached the sword embedded in the ground, splitting the leader's mask. He got away, how annoying. Just then, a lurking figure behind him. He raised his hand to catch a flying needle and threw it out, saying, TCH. Even the leader. Even if I die, I'll drag you down with me. Zhu Yuanneng was startled to find the flying needle coming too close. It was so sudden and so near that he couldn't dodge it. Suddenly, a surge of spiritual energy blocked the needle, causing it to veer off. It was Zhao Xiaotian who intervened to stop the needle. Zhu Yuanneng exclaimed, little junior brother, and quickly leapt over to Zhao Xiaotian. So you're still alive? Zhao Xiaotian, struggling to speak, said, senior brother, and then recalled the recent events. Senior brother, be careful, they are not ordinary assassins. He then coughed up a mouthful of fresh blood. Thinking to himself, am I going to die? What a joke. At that moment, Zhao Xiaotian's heart had been pierced by the needle, but then a surge of power began healing his wound, pushing the needle out, tearing his clothes in the process. Zhao Xiaotian told Zhu Yuanneng, senior brother, I'm fine, the wound isn't deep, then turned to the remaining assassin who was trembling, let's deal with these guys first. The assassin, trembling with fear, thought to himself, Mom, I want to go home. Suddenly, footsteps sounded behind Zhu Yuanneng and Zhao Xiaotian, and a large assassin appeared, extending a hand. Zhu Yuanneng was startled, isn't that guy already dead, the remaining assassin was equally surprised and exclaimed, ah, the big head. He then flew up the cliff, squeezing past Zhu Yuanneng's group to seek help from the big-headed one. So you're still alive, quickly help me kill these guys. As he approached, the big-headed assassin thought, even the leader said he was the secret weapon for this mission, but suddenly, he swung his hand and said, you all obediently go die. Seeing the hand reaching down to grab him, the assassin panicked, wait, it's not me, but before he could finish, he was flattened by the big-headed assassin's massive hand. The big-headed assassin then roared at Zhu Yuannang and Zhao Shao Tian, "A bunch of useless people dared to damage my perfect physical body, I'll kill all of you." Just then, the big-headed assassin's body seemed to freeze, feeling a strange sensation. "This is," he muttered, as if a petal had fallen on the water, ripples slowly spreading out. A voice echoed, "In my Xiaoyao sect, you dare to cause such a commotion? Do you think the Xiaoyao sect has no one?" Hearing this voice, both Zhu Yuannang and Zhao Shao Tian cheered. "Senior sister, Bai Ling Air exhaled a cold breath, then an icy force struck the big-headed assassin, making him feel like he was in a frozen land. He stood dumbfounded, looking around and then at his frozen body. Suddenly, Bai Ling Air's figure appeared beside him, and countless sword chi slashed through his body, instantly cutting him into pieces. He screamed, "No, impossible, just one move destroyed my perfect body. I am not reconciled," making both Zhu Yuannang and Zhao Shao Tian startled. Zhao Shao Tian pointed at Bai Ling Air and praised, "Senior sister is really powerful," while Zhu Yuannang marveled, as expected of senior sister. One move. Suddenly, two figures descended from fly swords and asked, "Are you both all right?" Zhu Yuannang quickly inquired, "Who are you?" They replied, "We are disciples from the demon beast's mountain range." Then they handed handcuffs to Zhu Yuannang and Zhao Shao Tian, saying, "Now you are under arrest for violating the rules." Zhu Yuannang groaned, "Ha, ha, ha," then shouted, "Wait, we are good citizens," to which they coldly responded, "If you have something to say, take it to the law enforcement elder." Meanwhile, Bai Ling Air softly called, "Shao Tian, are you all right?" Her face showed great concern. Seeing his senior sister, Zhao Shao Tian blushed and thought. Senior sister, then mustered the courage to say, "I'm fine, thank to senior brother, Bai Ling Air replied, "It's good you're all right. Don't take such risks again, understand?" Seeing that his senior sister only cared about the little junior brother, Zhu Yuannang's face turned gray, feeling dejected. He thought, "Senior sister, you're wrong, there is something," and then spat out blood, collapsing to the ground. The two law enforcers and Zhao Shao Tian were also shocked by this. "What is that?" Only Bai Ling Air remained unaffected. After a moment, Zhu Yuannang weakly said to Bai Ling Air, "Senior sister, I'm about to die and have some last words to say." This surprised Bai Ling Air a bit, and she leaned in closer to Zhu Yuannang, saying, "Go ahead, I'm listening, blushing shyly. Zhu Yuannang mustered all his strength to say, "Actually, I've liked you for a long time, senior sister." Though he whispered into Bai Ling Air's ear, everyone heard it clearly. Without missing a beat, Bai Ling Air punched Zhu Yuannang squarely in the face, then handed a spatial ring to one of the law enforcement officers, saying, "Please, senior brothers, take my junior brother's body back. And just pretend you didn't see anything." The law enforcement senior brother became confused, "Ah. This." He then thought, "Is my junior sister bribing us? Should I accept it? I don't want to use a harsh tone to criticize her." Then he realized, this is. Bai Ling Air turned to Zhao Shao Tian, giving him some pills. "Junior brother, you're injured. Take these pills." The two law enforcement officers then placed Zhu Yuannang on a stretcher, saying, "Move faster." As Zhu Yuannang was carried away, he thought, "I'm not dead yet." Zhao Shao Tian looked at the pills in his hand, a bit surprised, because he saw two pills and thought to himself, "It seems senior sister still cares about us. This one is probably for senior brother." Then the two fly swords soared into the night sky. In the next scene, they had returned to the Xiaoyao sect, with a long, winding team making their way up a tall building. Zhao Shao Tian was wide-eyed in surprise, as he had to visit this place upon arriving at the sect. It was the law enforcement hall, which was indeed imposing. The senior law enforcement officer noticed Zhao Shao Tian's expression and sighed. "He's the grandson of the richest man, the sect master's third disciple, yet he looks so inexperienced, I wonder how Elder Gu will punish them. A gatekeeper, seeing the group, asked in surprise, Senior Sister Ling Er, why so late? Then he thought, even the senior patrol brothers are. Bai Ling Er hurriedly said, quickly inform Elder Gu, we have something to report. The gatekeeper, startled, after that, yes, hurriedly do it. A few minutes later, Elder Gu appeared, confused, what's going on here? What are you doing? Why are you so badly injured? Bai Ling Er respectfully replied, Elder, we encountered assassins behind the mountain, and my 2 junior brothers were seriously injured. This news left both Elder Gu and the junior brother gaping in shock. What, assassins? Tired of pretending to be dead, Zhu Yuanning spoke up, little junior brother got injured more severely while blocking a hidden weapon for me. Elder Gu angrily shouted, Yuanning, you little guy, weren't you copying the rules? Why did you go behind the mountain? Elder Gu quickly turned to Xiao Tian, how are you? Go inside and get treated first. Xiao Tian obediently complied. The 2 senior law enforcement brothers thought, there's going to be a good show, while Zhu Yuanning realized his mistake, thinking, pretending to be dead might have been better, this is terrible. A while later, the junior brother returned the handcuffs to the 2 senior brothers, saying, Elder said you can go now. Moments later, inside the room, a loud scream erupted. Zhu Yuanning screamed as loud as he could, his saliva flying everywhere. It hurts, Elder, can you be gentler? Don't take personal revenge like this, Zhu Yuanning shouted as Elder Gu applied medicine to him. Little guy, tell me why you went behind the mountain, Elder Gu demanded. Zhu Yuanning made up an excuse, we were just going to the back mountain to complete a task, but unexpectedly, Elder Gu retorted, how come I didn't know? Little guy, you diligently doing tasks in the middle of the night? This made the young girl behind him sigh. Elder Gu felt anxious, oh no, why is little girl Qing Er here? The girl, Gu Qing Er, remarked, I told you, stupid senior brother, couldn't you come up with a better excuse? Who takes a low-level martial artist on a mission? Xiao Tian naively asked, senior brother, who is she? Zhu Yuanning explained, junior brother, she is the granddaughter of Elder Gu, whom I mentioned before. At 14, she's already reached the martial master realm, a prodigy second only to senior sister Ling Er, and a mischievous demon king. Don't provoke her. Gu Qing Er confirmed, yes, you are Xiao Tian. The new disciple accepted by the sect master, Xiao Tian obediently replied, yes, senior sister. Then Gu Qing Er mocked, why are you still at the martial artist realm? This comment made Xiao Tian's face turn pale. Gu Qing Er continued, if you're this weak, you won't even qualify for the talent selection contest. What did the sect master see in you? Suddenly, Gu Qing Er stared intently at Xiao Tian and said, the sect's secret realm is about to open, and the water-splitting peak is right in front of us. Sect master uncle always entertains me. I'm telling you, the secret realm is crucial, don't disgrace the sect master. Xiao Tian broke into a cold sweat, thinking. Why is she so close? Elder Gu, displeased, reminded, Qing Er, you're being unruly again. Gu Qing Er, unsatisfied, continued to poke Xiao Tian's cheek and retorted, grandfather, I'm just kindly reminding him. Xiao Tian sat there enduring it, thinking, this little demon. Gu Yuan set the medicine bottle down on the table, saying, all right, I can guess why they went up the mountain. I just don't know who dared to assassinate our Xiao Yao sect disciples. This matter must be thoroughly investigated. After speaking, he angrily pressed his finger into the medicine bottle, denting it, then continued, all right, the external wounds have basically been treated. Ling Er, take Qing Er to Herb Valley to find Elder Zhao and ask him about some herbs Qing Er needs. Bai Ling Er obediently replied, yes, I understand, Elder. She then led the way, with Gu Qing Er following closely behind. Gu Yuan sighed in relief and said, "Phew, now that the girls are gone, let's see if you have any other injuries." He then immediately tore off Xiao Tian's shirt, making Zhu Yuanning exclaim, "Elder Gu is really domineering." After tearing Xiao Tian's shirt, Gu Yuan exclaimed, "Huh," and said, "Strange." He then asked, "Xiao Tian, where are your wounds?" Xiao Tian was also surprised, "Huh." Zhu Yuanneng was equally astonished, "I clearly saw junior brother get stabbed right in front of me." Xiao Tian took out a pill and said, "It might be because of the pill senior sister gave me." Gu Yuan marveled, "The life-sustaining elixir. That girl is quite generous. It seems Yuanneng's injuries are more severe." Zhu Yuanning exclaimed, "Elder, don't believe that. There's no way such severe wounds could be healed with just one pill." Consequently, Xiao Tian and the others were credited for their efforts against the assassins and were pardoned. A few days later, they returned to their usual places, and peace seemed to have returned to normal. But a few days later, in a certain room, two people were sitting. One of them, an old man, asked sternly, "Have all the investigations been completed?" The old man continued, "Have all the investigations been thoroughly completed?" This old man was the Grand Elder Xiao Tonghai. He placed his hand on the table, then threw down a tile and said, "5 bamboos." The second elder Zhu Jingzhe replied, "There's no clue on the bodies of those 5 assassins. And we can't find the real culprit for now, he then said, "Peng." The third elder Jiang Lian asked, "How is Xiao Tian?" and then played a tile, 2 characters. Gu Yuan then said, Red Dragon, that little guy is fine now, but I told him to rest for 2 days, and with Yuanneng and Ling Er guarding, there won't be any problems." Xiao Tonghai snorted, "To dare send someone to assassinate within the Xiaoyao sect, this person is truly bold." Jiang Lian suddenly patted the table, urging, "Stop dawdling, play your tile already." It turned out that the elders were playing mahjong. Xiao Tonghai impatiently said, "Fortune, stop urging. But now with no witnesses, it's hard to deal with." Zhu Jingzhe added, "It seems that the matter of Yuanning's sword body can't be hidden anymore." He then played a tile, 3 bamboos. Elder Gu also shared his opinion, their target was probably Xiao Tian. "If I'm not wrong, it must be related to the previous assassins. When Xiao Tian joined the sect, I felt something strange about him." "Do you mean to say Xiao Tian is also one of the 8 great holy bodies? Do you think holy bodies are as common as roadside vegetables?" Xiao Tonghai angrily slammed the table. "Humph, regardless, this matter must be thoroughly investigated," Jiang Lian cheerfully said, "Let's not talk about that for now. I won, hand over the money." The 3 others shouted in unison, "Junior sister, show mercy." Meanwhile, Xiao Tian was lying down, contemplating, "I thought joining the Xiaoyao sect would distance me from the life of kidnappings and hostage killings, but I didn't expect someone to assassinate me." He then remembered the scene of the masked assassin trying to kill him and thought, "No, now that I'm a martial artist, I can't just sit and wait to die." Meanwhile, Zhu Yuanneng, still half asleep, mumbled, "Senior sister, I can't eat anymore." Xiao Tian sighed and said, "Senior brother, when I first met you, I thought you were a bad person." He then remembered their first meeting, "You are Xiao Tian. I'm Zhu Yuanneng, your senior brother. If anyone bullies you, just tell me." Then he recalled the female disciples shouting, "Elder, he's the one who harassed us," and Zhu Yuanneng quickly saying to him, "Oh no, junior brother, I have to go now." Then he remembered Zhu Yuanneng fiercely protecting him, "Stop, don't hurt my junior brother. Because of my own weakness, senior brother got injured like that. Along with senior sister and elder Gu," he thought. Then he remembered Zhu Yuanneng happily saying, "Junior brother, senior sister told me to stay here for a few days to protect you. Aren't you happy?" He also recalled elder Gu saying, "Where did you go? Why are you so seriously injured?" Zhao Xiao Tian clenched his fists, trembling, and resolved, I must become stronger. Zhu Yuanneng, seeing Zhao Xiao Tian get out of bed, was a bit surprised and sat up, rubbing his eyes, asking. Junior brother, it's not dawn yet, why are you up? Zhu Yuanneng was wide-eyed in surprise, asking, what are you doing, junior brother? Zhao Xiao Tian, startled, replied, huh? Did I wake you, senior brother? Zhu Yuanneng thought, it's not that you woke me, you scared me. Is this still the Xiaoyao formula? He then coughed and asked, junior brother, what level have you reached with the Xiaoyao formula? 400 or 500? Zhao Xiao Tian naively replied, I think it's over 700. Zhu Yuanneng exclaimed, oh, and spat out blood. Zhao Xiao Tian retracted his skill and quickly asked, are you alright, senior brother? Zhu Yuanneng hurriedly replied, over 700 is acceptable. I told you to train quickly. The secret realm is about to open, and it seems all the disciples will go through a training session in the secret realm, and their skills will improve. Zhao Xiao Tian was surprised, the secret realm. I remember senior sister also mentioned it. What exactly is the secret realm, senior brother? Please tell me quickly, what is the secret realm? He then frantically grabbed Zhu Yuanneng's shoulders and shook him. Zhu Yuanneng, foaming at the mouth, said, ah. Junior brother, don't shake me, senior brother is still injured. Zhao Xiao Tian, dumbfounded, said, I'm sorry, senior brother. Zhu Yuanneng coughed up another mouthful of blood and thought, seeing how anxious junior brother looks, I guess I should tell him. He then coughed a few times and began, the so-called secret realm refers to the Xiao Xian Tian secret realm. Within an 11-mile radius near our Xiaoyao sect, this secret realm is located at the peak of Yangdian Feng Mountain, 11 miles west of Tong Tian within Xiaoyao sect. The secret realm Xiao Xian Tian is abundant with spiritual weapons, elixirs, spiritual fruits, and numerous rare and precious herbs. The spiritual energy in the secret realm makes countless sects green with envy. 100 years ago, a sect attempted to seize the secret realm for themselves, but the elders at that time, along with the sect master, repelled the invaders and successfully secured ownership of the secret realm. To maintain the ecosystem circulation, the spiritual weapons in the secret realm, Xiao Xian Tian, are only accessible once a year, and opening it each time requires the cooperation of the great elders. At most, 30 people can enter at one time. Currently, preparations for the secret realm are underway, and the great elders are selecting suitable candidates to enter. The statuses of the 3 great elders and the sect master of the elder team are special. Those who qualify to be chosen by them to enter are always their direct disciples. Additionally, they have a spot for a disciple to directly enter the final competition of the contest. Zhao Xiao Tian asked again, senior brother, what is this contest you mentioned? Zhu Yuanneng explained, the contest is the most intense competition held annually by Xiaoyao sect. It consists of the preliminary rounds and the finals. The preliminary rounds vary each year, but the finals always select the 10 best disciples. Junior brother, you are still not a direct disciple of the sect master. If you want to participate in the competition, you must be cautious of Kong Hen, the direct disciple of the second elder. He is a formidable martial artist, and although he has the qualification to participate as a direct disciple, he still competes in the selection each year. Also, be wary of Lu Su, the head disciple of the great elder Xiao Wan, who is known for his backstabbing tactics. Previously, our master didn't need the final list and gave it to Qin Er junior sister, but now. Suddenly, a voice called from outside, senior brother. Zhao Xiao Tian, dumbfounded, asked, who is this? Zhu Yuanneng, sweating, said, I knew it. Speak of the devil, and the demon king arrives. There was a knock at the door, here, and Zhao Xiao Tian sighed, really this little senior sister, it's not dawn yet. No one can get any rest. As Zhao Xiao Tian opened the door, Gu Qin Er immediately asked, little junior brother, is senior brother here? Grandpa told me to find him to get the final competition list for this year. Zhao Xiao Tian started to respond, ah. Senior brother, then turned to see Zhu Yuanneng hiding under the covers and quickly said, sorry, senior brother isn't here right now. Gu Qing'er fell silent for a moment and then reluctantly said, oh, I see. What a pity, but thought to herself, these two dare to deceive me. I'll make them pay. She then added, tomorrow at noon, you and senior brother must come to the martial arts platform. This senior sister will personally check your cultivation. She smirked, thinking, I'll show them the consequences of defying me. Gu Qing'er walked away, not forgetting to say loudly, I'm leaving. Zhao Xiao Tian called after her, little senior sister, come visit often. He then turned to look at Zhu Yuanneng and thought, senior brother, you've really put me in a tough spot. The next day, at the martial arts platform, Zhao Xiao Tian arrived promptly at noon. He shouted miserably, it's so hot. I can't believe there's no shade on the martial arts platform. And why am I the only one here? If I'd known, I wouldn't have come. He remembered Zhu Yuanneng's words, junior brother, you go first, senior brother will come later. It dawned on him, I was tricked by that senior brother. At his most despondent, a flying sword appeared in the sky. Gu Qing'er, wearing a short dress, stood with Bai Ling Er on the flying sword. She cheerfully said, junior brother, we're here. Hearing her voice, Zhao Xiao Tian looked up and immediately had a nosebleed. Politely, he greeted, hello, senior sisters. Gu Qing'er thought, junior brother arrived so early. He must be scared by what I said earlier, then looked around and asked Zhao Xiao Tian, where's that lazy senior brother? Is he slacking off again? Zhao Xiao Tian scratched his head, he said he was up late cultivating last night, so he'll be a bit late. Suddenly, Zhao Xiao Tian looked at the two milk bottles and thought for a moment. Bai Ling Er took out a spirit stone and said to Zhao Xiao Tian, junior brother, we haven't seen each other in a few days. Let's see how your cultivation is coming along. Zhao Xiao Tian obediently replied, okay. Meanwhile, Gu Qing'er gleefully thought. It's here, this time specially ask the senior sister to bring spirit stones that can be touched to be cultivated, later that's all it takes, then it will be like that, and imagined the scene of Zhao Xiao Tian suffering too much admitting, I'm just a low-level martial artist, I'm too stupid, this junior brother, in the future he will also be obedient like that stupid senior brother. At this point, Zhao Xiao Tian held the spirit stone in his hand, and a surge of spiritual energy surrounded it. He was so nervous that he didn't dare to look. After a while, he peeked with one eye. Bai Ling Er and Gu Qing'er both widened their eyes in surprise. This is high-level martial artist realm. In just a few days. It's unbelievable. Gu Qing'er, still in disbelief, hurriedly said, this can't be. There must be some mistake. I'll check it myself, Ling Er exclaimed, what? Gu Qing'er then forcefully poured spiritual energy into the spirit stone, becoming even more shocked. I must be seeing things. Not only is his cultivation at the high-level martial artist realm, but his meridians are also fully refined into a spiritual weapon body. Zhao Xiao Tian, seeing Gu Qing'er's trembling state, asked, what's wrong, little senior sister? After hearing this sentence, Gu Qing'er felt like she wanted to cry, but I heard that he had only been exceeded for a few days, oh my god. Am I a genius after all? Then fell into despair. Zhao Xiao Tian looked perplexed, scratching his head, and asked, senior sister, what's wrong with Qing'er? My talent is quite ordinary, master has already checked it. Bai Ling Er fell silent, thinking, Qing'er junior sister, I understand your feelings. After all, when junior brother first joined the sect, I saw Zhu Yuanneng working hard on his cultivation. The moment he saw me, he said, senior sister, you've come too? Ever since I joined the sect, I've been striving to catch up with the cultivation of others. Now, a junior brother with natural talent has appeared. In not too long, even the prestige of senior brothers and sisters like us will be gone. Master, I understand now. Your intention was to keep junior brother here to motivate us. It's also good for Qing Air to realize she's not the best anymore. With this thought, Bai Ling Air jumped onto her flying sword and said, Qing Air, senior sister is going to cultivate now. I'll leave junior brother in your care. Gu Qing Air let out a confused, huh, and then shouted, wait, senior sister, I don't want to stay with him. Bai Ling Air flew off on her sword, leaving the two of them standing there in silence. Gu Qing Air huffed and turned away in a huff, while Zhao Shao Tian stood there dumbfounded. Gu Qing Air, frustrated, shouted, what are you looking at? I'm thirsty. Go fetch me some spiritual fruit and spiritual liquid. Zhao Shao Tian, puzzled, responded, what? There's no spiritual fruit or liquid nearby, Gu Qing Air shouted back, I don't care. You have half an hour to get it for me. Faced with her command, Zhao Shao Tian, though clueless, obediently replied, yes, and recalled the skill Zhu Yuanneng had taught him. Junior brother, this martial skill is called Dragon Footwork, a second-rank martial technique. After mastering it, you can move as swiftly as a dragon. At the beginner level, you can walk as light as the wind, at the intermediate level, you can blend into the wind. In the middle stage, there will be a hidden dragon foot, roughly like what I'm seeing now. So Zhao Shao Tian immediately used dragon footwork to find spiritual fruit for that little ancestor, then thought again, sorry, senior brother, even though dragon footwork isn't meant for errands, this is an emergency. In less than half an hour, Zhao Shao Tian returned with a pile of spiritual fruit, placing it in front of Gu Qing Air. She looked slightly embarrassed and said, well, you met the standard. However, she thought to herself, how could he be so fast? It should have taken at least an hour to find spiritual fruit from here. He must have taken a shortcut. She then continued in a demanding tone, now I'm hungry. Go find something for me to eat. Zhao Shao Tian, frustrated, exclaimed, huh. Senior sister, I haven't even started my cultivation today, Gu Qing Air, turning angry, snapped, you dare disobey your senior sister. Zhao Shao Tian immediately complied, yes, and dashed off, thinking to himself, is she really a senior sister? She seems more like an ancestor. To quickly finish senior sister's task, I have to speed up. Little did he know. This effort would further enhance and advance his dragon footwork skill. After a while, Zhao Shao Tian returned, panting, senior sister, I've brought the food. However, he found Gu Qing Air's entire body emitting a dark aura. Startled, he asked, senior sister, what's happening to you? Gu Qing Air, in immense pain, gritted her teeth and instructed Zhao Shao Tian, hurry up. Zhao Shao Tian saw Gu Qing Air's body falling down and quickly shouted what's wrong with the little senior sister. But as he got closer, he was startled by the hot, dark aura emanating from her. Zhao Shao Tian hurriedly asked, who has offended junior senior sister? Then, he formed a magic formula and placed 2 fingers on Gu Qing Air's forehead to probe. Suddenly, countless ghostly apparitions appeared before Zhao Shao Tian's eyes, screaming. Horrified, he thought, what are these things? There seems to be something hidden inside junior senior sister's body. What should I do? This is beyond what I can handle. At that moment, Gu Qing Air, struggling to speak, said, the medicine on senior sister Ling Air, it can suppress what's inside me. She then coughed a few times, the medicine for toxic heat. Zhao Shao Tian became stunned, thinking, toxic heat, the direction senior sister went was behind the mountain, this is bad. He then said to Gu Qing Air, junior senior sister, it's quite far from here to the back mountain. I'm afraid you might not hold on until senior sister returns. Gu Qing Air, in great pain, tearfully said, hurry, this is the only way. Hearing this, Zhao Shao Tian sighed in frustration, then resolutely said, "Little senior sister, I'll help you expel the toxic heat." Qing Er immediately protested, "Are you crazy? If you do that, you'll die." But Zhao Xiao Tian calmly said, "Don't worry, I've faced life-threatening situations like this a few times before." As Zhao Xiao Tian's hand touched her, Qing Er used all her strength to push him away. "Stop, I don't need your help." However, she was already tormented by pain, only able to let out weak moans. Zhao Xiao Tian quickly grabbed her hands and said, "There's no time, senior sister, forgive me." Gu Qing Er, panicking, could only shout, "You," but Zhao Xiao Tian gently reassured her, "Close your eyes and stay strong." They both fell silent, and Gu Qing Er stopped resisting. Zhao Xiao Tian then began to draw the toxic heat from Gu Qing Er's body. Over time, the toxic heat gradually transferred to Zhao Xiao Tian's hands and then spread throughout his body. As the toxic heat left Gu Qing Er's body, she opened her eyes and was surprised to find that the toxic heat had completely dissipated. "It's gone, this is unbelievable." She exclaimed, "Oh no! My clothes are all wet, how embarrassing." Then she turned to Zhao Xiao Tian and said, "Little junior brother, you saved me." "Senior brother, they probably taught you how to eliminate toxic heat, right, little junior brother?" Seeing Zhao Xiao Tian not responding, she immediately shouted, "Junior brother." Meanwhile, Zhao Xiao Tian seemed lost in another world. He wondered, where is this? Could it be inside Qing Er senior sister's inner world? But why am I here in my own consciousness, Suddenly, Zhao Xiao Tian covered his nose and exclaimed, "Wow, why does it smell so strongly of rust?" Then, as if realizing something, he moved toward some rusty iron pillars. What is that? The extreme Yin object, the essence of toxic heat. Suddenly, the monster opened its eyes and asked, "Little guy, can you see me? It's been hundreds of years. And finally, someone can take me out." "Ha ha. Little guy, you'll be taken over by my toxic heat." Then it launched a burst of fire at Zhao Xiao Tian, causing him to collapse immediately. But suddenly, Zhao Xiao Tian stood up, his eyes now dark and malevolent, with a pair of horns on his head, looking terrifying. Outside, a voice kept calling, junior brother, wake up quickly." After a while, a vague shadow appeared before Zhao Xiao Tian. "Ah! You're finally awake. You scared senior sister to death. I thought you were all ready." But before she could finish her sentence, Zhao Xiao Tian's hand had grabbed Gu Qing Er's neck. A red lightning bolt struck the training ground, and then Zhao Xiao Tian lifted Gu Qing Er high into the air, laughing, "Ha ha ha, in such a hurry. What's wrong, do you like him?" Gu Qing Er, panic-stricken, said, "Junior brother, you." But Zhao Xiao Tian sneered, "I've seen you grow up, you're quite useless, and you still don't recognize who I am." Then he opened his eyes, revealing two red pupils, looking extremely terrifying. Gu Qing Er quickly gathered her spiritual energy and struck downwards, breaking free from toxic heat's control. She took a defensive stance and said, "Your toxic heat, where is my junior brother? What have you done to him?" She then launched a punch at him, to which he immediately begged, "Senior sister, spare me, I'm Xiao Tian." Hearing this, Gu Qing Er was stunned and asked, "Xiao Tian?" But then he gave a lewd smile and kicked Gu Qing Er hard in the stomach, shouting, "Fool, I told you I'm not that useless guy." Gu Qing Er was sent rolling across the ground several times, Gu Qing Er struggling to get up. She painfully cursed at him, despicable. But at that moment, toxic heat rushed over, lifted one leg, and mercilessly stomped on Gu Qing Er's hand. Gu Qing Er screamed in pain, "Ah!" Toxic heat displayed a vile grin and said, "If you can't forget that little guy, from now on, I am Zhao Xiao Tian." Suddenly, someone from afar saw this scene and immediately sent a sword chi striking toxic heat's back, startling him. He looked back to see Bai Ling Er rushing in with a sword. "What's this?" After dodging her attack, he thought, such swift swordsmanship, and without any hesitation. Then he sneered, impressive, but if that's all, seeing his expression, Bai Ling Er was very confused. Suddenly, Toxic Heat laughed loudly, ha 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 ha, don't dare to strike. Humans are so boring. Don't hold back, this is the body of your beloved junior brother, one more slash. Hearing this, Bai Ling Er gritted her teeth in anger, momentarily unsure of what to do. Toxic Heat continued, I am sincerely begging you, don't disappoint me. The taste of blood, not felt for so long, this is the feeling of being alive. While Bai Ling Er was still in shock, Toxic Heat knocked her sword away. Seeing her sword deeply embedded in a pillar, Bai Ling Er felt despair. Toxic Heat then looked down at Gu Qing'er, clutching her hand, and asked, and you, didn't you ask what happened to your beloved junior brother? Now I'll tell you, he's dead. With a grotesque and vile expression, he continued, if he hadn't absorbed the toxic heat, he wouldn't have died. It's all your fault. Suddenly, Gu Qing'er shoved Toxic Heat's hand away and irritably said, so noisy. You're the one who dies every day. Toxic Heat sneered, oh. You can still stand. Shouldn't you be completely defeated for killing your junior brother? This isn't like you. Gu Qing'er, now infuriated, simply told him to shut up. A swarm of faint white butterflies appeared in Gu Qing'er's hand, then she launched them straight at Toxic Heat. He thought, spirit beasts. Only second-grade quality. Who do you think we are? Can the fire of the big family be like that to me? Gu Qing'er's eyes widened in surprise at what she saw. The two clashed, exchanging blows, resulting in a loud explosion. Qing'er was knocked back, spitting blood, screaming in pain, seeing Qing'er fall, Bai Ling Er rushed to catch her, shouting, Qing'er. Although she caught her, both were thrown back by the residual force. Toxic Heat opened his hand, creating a pitch-black flame and said, if you wish to die so much, I'll grant your wish. Go on, die. At that moment, he suddenly froze and began coughing up blood. A voice spoke, this can't be, what did you do to me? Could it be this little guy? Gu Qing'er smiled joyfully, it's working, Xiao Tian is still alive. Xiao Tian was struggling to regain control of his body. He tightly gripped his flaming arm and said, don't harm senior sister. Not far away, Zhu Yuanneng was flying towards them on a sword. He muttered, practicing martial arts in this sweltering summer. It's exhausting. Suddenly, he looked up at the clear sky, which was quickly being overcast with dark clouds. He immediately complained, what? How can the weather change just like that? Zhu Yuanneng then sensed the aura and realized, this is bad, junior brother is in danger. With that, he turned around and rushed towards the training platform. On the other side, Xiao Tian was still struggling to control his body. Don't harm senior sister, ah. Toxic Heat gritted his teeth, becoming increasingly furious and impatient. You've got some nerve, he growled. Then he shouted, you're awake, aren't you? Now pass out. A burst of black flame erupted. And all that was heard was a ugh sound. Bai Ling Er quickly created a barrier to protect both of them from the fire. Seeing the menacing form of Toxic Heat, Gu Qing'er exclaimed, Toxic Heat is out of control, she then told Ling Er, senior sister, quickly help Xiao Tian. I just attacked his soul sea with spirit beasts, but it won't hold for long. Suddenly, Toxic Heat, in his madness, stopped and turned towards Bai Ling Er and Gu Qing'er. He snarled, you, damned. You dare to trick me? He then punched a pillar, breaking it in half, and roared, die. With that, he launched an attack at the barrier. A column of black fire shot straight at Bai Ling Er's barrier. Seeing this, Bai Ling Er told Qing'er, stop talking and hold on tight. Startled, Qing'er yelped, huh? She felt her body being lifted into the air and Gu Qing'er screamed in panic, "Ah!" It turned out Bai Ling-er had used the Marshal General's flight technique to lift both of them into the air, avoiding the incoming fire. Gu Qing'er clung tightly to Bai Ling-er's leg, shouting, "Senior sister, slow down." But Bai Ling-er ignored Qing'er clinging to her leg and sped away like a flash of lightning. Qing'er screamed in terror, "Senior sister." Bai Ling-er then stomped hard on the ground, creating an ice wall aimed at toxic heat. The sudden landing caused Gu Qing'er to foam at the mouth. Bai Ling-er glared at toxic heat, focusing on controlling the ice, sending sharp ice spikes relentlessly towards him. As toxic heat was encased in ice, he thought bitterly. Trying to trap me? Not so easy. He raised his hands, gathering flames in his palms. His hands turned fiery red as he used them to shatter the ice, charging towards Bai Ling-er. Bai Ling-er, witnessing this terrifying sight, was momentarily at a loss for what to do. In 0.01 seconds, Bai Ling-er was within toxic heat's attack range. In 0.02 seconds, toxic heat had swung his arm towards her. In 0.03 seconds, a sudden burst of sword intent struck down. 0.04 seconds later, swording intent cut a path to stop toxic heat's attack. Zhu Yuanning formed a sword seal and sternly said, "Junior brother, since when did senior brother teach you to hit women?" He then unleashed a powerful sword intent, quickly carving intricate patterns on the ground. Zhu Yuanning's figure appeared beside toxic heat, who was controlling Zhao Xiaotian's body, and fiercely attacked him. Suddenly, Bai Ling-er shouted anxiously, "Yuanneng, Xiaotian has been devoured by toxic heat, don't harm him." Zhu Yuanneng, while using his flying sword to defend, obediently responded, "Yes, senior sister." He thought, clearly, I'm the one being beaten here. Am I just supposed to wait for death? With a determined look, he continued his attack. Zhu Yuanneng struck again, causing toxic heat to slide back before attacking again. Zhu Yuanneng created a barrier to fend off toxic heat's fiery hands, thinking, senior sister is right, continuing like this won't work. Wait, senior sister's ice techniques. He quickly called out, "Senior sister." Bai Ling-er, who had already leaped into the air, commanded, "You be the decoy." Zhu Yuanneng, confused, replied, I haven't said anything yet." On the ground, toxic heat unleashed a powerful blow, sending debris flying. Zhu Yuanneng barely clung to a rock with one finger, screaming, "Ah! What kind of chaos is this?" Suddenly, Bai Ling-er gritted her teeth, that feeling again. The monster inside junior brother has an aura far beyond us, even beyond toxic heat. At this moment, Zhao Xiaotian managed to regain control of his body and commanded, "Stop right now." Toxic heat snarled, "It's you again." Zhao Xiaotian shouted to Bai Ling-er, "Senior sister, now," but immediately, runes bound his legs. Quickly enveloped toxic heat's body. Toxic heat thought, "Damn it, I didn't expect this little guy to wake up." He then roared with a terrifying tone, "Despicable humans, don't get too cocky. I'll remember this grudge, and come the full moon, I'll kill you all." With that, Zhao Xiaotian's entire body was frozen, and he fell silent. Zhu Yuanneng, seeing his junior brother encased in ice, exclaimed in horror, "Oh no, junior brother might not make it through this month." Toxic heat's loss of control caused a violent outbreak of spirit flames, catching many off guard, especially at the elixir pharmacy. The place was in chaos, with people shouting, "Quick, put out the fire. Junior sister's toxic heat has flared up again. It's too late. Hurry and get the elders." One disciple, in his panic, knocked over a lamp in the corner. Staring dumbfounded as the oil spilled towards him, he opened his mouth in horror. Bracing himself for the oil to ignite him, he trembled, when suddenly, a voice called out, in such a rush. He was shocked to find himself unharmed, not burning. It turned out the great elder had saved him. Xiao Tong Hai angrily said, "This is utterly outrageous." The person respectfully replied, "Great elder, reporting to the elder, junior sister Qing Air's toxic heat has flared up again, and we were about to come find you." Xiao Tong Hai, furious, responded, "Just a minor toxic heat, and you can't handle it?" Just then, an earthquake occurred, startling Xiao Tong Hai. This earthquake didn't only affect the elixir pharmacy but also the entire mountain where the pharmacy was located, causing widespread impact. Moments later, the disciples in the elixir pharmacy were trembling, dizzy, and holding their heads in fear. Xiao Tong Hai, seeing this, snorted coldly and scolded them. "You can't even handle toxic heat, and you want to enter the secret realm? Disperse." The disciples, panicking, responded, "Thank you, elder." Xiao Tong Hai walked away, his face darkening with thoughts. Disciples these days are becoming increasingly useless. Switching scenes to Zhao Xiao Tian's house, a pair of feet paced restlessly. Zhu Yuanneng, with hands behind his back, walked in circles, contemplating. The full moon is only a few days away. If it affects the entire sect, what will we do? Gu Qing resting her chin in boredom, said, "Senior brother, stop pacing. You're making my head spin." Suddenly, a sound came from Zhao Xiao Tian's bed, startling everyone. Zhu Yuanneng joyfully exclaimed, "Junior brother, you're awake." Zhao Xiao Tian, drenched in sweat, asked Zhu Yuanneng, "Senior brother, you said it could bring disaster to the whole sect? Is that true?" Zhu Yuanneng, feeling uneasy, thought he heard everything. Meanwhile, Ling Er and Qing Er looked grim. Gu Qing Er, gritting her teeth, said, "This is all my fault. If I hadn't let him absorb the toxic heat, it wouldn't have escaped, and we wouldn't be causing trouble for everyone." Zhu Yuanneng refuted. "Junior sister, you can't blame yourself. Logically, toxic heat entering a young body, if not expelled in time, would be fatal. But now both junior brother and the toxic heat are fine." Zhao Xiao Tian, thinking about his transformation into a woman, darkened. Could it be related to that incident? Bai Ling Er added, "That's right, Qing Er. Since it has already happened, don't blame yourself. You've studied toxic heat with Gu Elder for many years. Haven't you found a solution? There is a way, but it will be tough on senior brother Xiao Tian." Zhao Xiao Tian, puzzled, asked, "Little senior sister, did you address me wrong?" Gu Qing embarrassed, said, "You saved me, so it's not unreasonable to call you senior brother." Yuan Neng, almost dropping his jaw, eyes wide, thought, "This is utterly infuriating." Zhao Xiao Tian, internally complaining, thought, "What is this little demon plotting now?" Then he said, "Little senior sister, is something wrong with your brain?" Meanwhile, Zhu Yuanneng was crying, tears streaming down his face. "Senior sister, I am no longer the only senior brother in this comic, please console me." Hick hick hick. Bai Ling Er, wide-eyed, said, "You were never the only one." Then she turned to Gu Qing Er, "Ignore these two crazies, continue." Gu Qing startled, and said, "Oh, right. Grandfather told me that the so-called toxic heat is actually a special type of spiritual weapon in nature. Because of its extremely yin attribute, even a small infection can cause the spiritual weapon within the host to beat continuously, eventually exploding and causing death. It is a nightmare for countless martial artists. However, it is ultimately a spirit flame. By absorbing a large amount of demon beast's spiritual cores of earth and water attributes, and using fire control abilities, it can be expelled from the body during the full moon," explained Gu Qing. Zhao Xiao Tian asked, "Then why didn't little senior sister use this method to completely eradicate it?" Gu Qing explained, "The issue lies in the fact that I was born with yin cold energy, a so-called extreme yin constitution. Every time grandfather and I tried to expel the toxic heat this way, the yin cold energy in my body would transform into large invisible hands, pulling the toxic heat back inside. Since Xiao Tian doesn't have this cold energy, I think this method might work. Xiao Tian got off the bed and said, really? If there's a way, let's not delay. Let's go, senior brother. Zhu Yuanneng, confused, asked, where to? Xiao Tian resolutely replied, to the demon beast's mountain range, of course. Last time, because we weren't strong enough, we couldn't do anything. This time, I must seize control of my fate. Shortly after, the great elder was heading to extinguish the fire, sighing, disciples these days are hopeless. Suddenly, he heard two voices whispering, junior brother, look. The great elder, Xiao Tonghai, felt something odd. Looking down, he saw Zhu Yuanneng and Xiao Tian below. What are the sect master's two disciples up to, he wondered. He heard them say, these are the footprints of the blue fire wolves, they must be nearby. Concealing his aura, Xiao Tonghai thought, it seems they are preparing for the secret realm. I need to see what these new disciples are capable of. Suddenly, a blue fire wolf appeared. Zhu Yuanneng quickly warned Xiao Tian, junior brother, be careful, they are here. Just as he finished, a blue fire wolf charged at Xiao Tian. Zhu Yuanneng swiftly moved, delivering a decisive blow. Xiao Tian was bewildered. At the same time the blue fire wolf was knocked into a bush. Zhu Yuanneng continued to explain, blue fire wolves, although first-grade demon beasts, are adept at group combat. It's common for strong martial artists to be bitten to death by a pack of blue fire wolves. We've observed for a while, this one might just have been left behind. But even so, dealing with them requires caution. Xiao Tian wondered, senior brother, do you mean they don't have any companions? But why do I feel that's not the case? As soon as he finished speaking, a multitude of glowing red eyes stared at them, and then, well, there was almost no then. A terrifying noise erupted, followed by the pitiful screams of the two. Zhu Yuanneng, doubling his pace, shouted to Xiao Tian, junior brother, split up, it will reduce the pressure. Xiao Tian immediately agreed. So, the two of them split and ran in different directions. Zhu Yuanneng turned right, while Xiao Tian ran downhill. At that moment, a blue fire wolf was already close, baring its sharp, bright white teeth, not to advertise toothpaste but to take a bite out of Xiao Tian. Seeing that he was about to lose a body part, Xiao Tian quickly used the dragon foot technique to narrowly escape. Then, he wrapped one hand around his armpit and created a fire charm. A fierce flame shot out. Surely there was about to be a golden wolf dish. Seeing the fire flare up fiercely, Zhu Yuanneng was startled, thinking, junior brother's control over fire has increased. But why do I feel unsafe? Moreover, are there too many blue fire wolves on my side? He noticed many blue fire wolves glaring at him. After roasting one blue fire wolf, Xiao Tian was panting heavily, almost sticking out his tongue. Then, more blue fire wolves surrounded him. He thought, I can't stop here. Resolutely gripping his sword, he summoned all his courage and charged at the wolves, yelling loudly, A. Xiao Tian, moving at his fastest, struck a blue fire wolf right in the forehead. Surprised at how easily he killed it, Xiao Tian thought, my strength and speed have increased significantly. Is it because I broke through to a high-level martial artist? No. This is spiritual weapon external release. Isn't this a characteristic that new martial masters have? Could the toxic heat help me cultivate? While Xiao Tian was deep in thought, a blue fire wolf lunged at him, its mouth wide open, prepared to bite Xiao Tian. Instinctively, Xiao Tian positioned his sword to block it, an affectionate gesture indeed. Xiao Tian reflected, I remember senior brother saying that breaking through to a martial master means entering a new world of immortal cultivation. So, this is how it feels. He then braced himself to fend off the attacking blue fire wolf, thinking, but perhaps I'm just at the threshold of becoming a martial master. But if we only rely on this point, it means, suddenly, another blue fire wolf seized the opportunity to attack. Zhao Shao Tian adjusted his stance, gripping his sword tightly, thinking, I can fight like senior brother and senior sister. He swung his sword fiercely, tearing through the wolf's mouth, and then struck another charging wolf, which met the same fate. Finally, they all fell to the ground, motionless. With a cold gaze, Zhao Shao Tian thought, is this all? I can't believe I handled them alone. Seems I'm not as hopeless as Master said. No, I can't get complacent after killing a few first-grade demon beasts. Senior brother and senior sister have killed more than I have. I should finish here and join senior brother. Meanwhile, Zhu Yuanneng was cautiously thinking, I remember blue fire wolves have a strong sense of territory. They usually don't invade the territory of higher-level demon beasts, but there are exceptions. If their prey enters another's territory, they send out strong wolves to chase it. If that's the case, junior brother might be in danger. Elsewhere, Zhao Shao Tian was admiring his spoils. This is an earth-type demon core, quite pretty. I wonder how much it's worth. Unaware of the danger behind him, a giant demon beast emerged from the water. Zhao Shao Tian, snapping out of his reverie, wondered, what's this? A spring? But noticing the way the water moved, he realized something was wrong. No, something's off. He raised his sword to block the oncoming water column, but its force was immense, pushing Zhao Shao Tian back tens of meters before slamming him into a rock wall. The impact shattered the stones, and his sword slipped from his grasp. Zhao Shao Tian, frustrated, thought, just when I felt I'd grown a bit, this happens. The immediate result was like being slapped in the face. Over here, that monster has taken the earth element demon core. Zhao Shao Tian retrieved his sword, thinking, as expected, I'm still too weak, he said, then prepared to attack. The monster that stole the demon core was Tong Tianhe, a giant toad. At that moment, the official greetings began. Tong Tianhe's mouth was in pain. Let me call him the toad for short. The toad raised one leg, then hit the ground hard. Zhao Shao Tian leaned forward to avoid it. The toad saw that Zhao Shao Tian was also being attacked and saw through it. It observed with its red eyes, captured Zhao Shao Tian's movements, and then opened its mouth. Stuck out his gray tongue, danced a few times in the air to gain momentum, then slammed it down hard where Zhao Shao Tian was standing. Although Zhao Shao Tian avoided it, he was still hit in the ribs, blood immediately spurted out. Despite the pain, he silently thought of a way to solve the problem. What is this guy's situation? This is not very suitable for body shape and speed. Are demon beasts really of the same rank as blue fire wolves? Suddenly the toad on the opposite side ran away without knowing when. Before him was just an empty space. Zhao Shao Tian thought to himself, disappeared. No, that's not right, and then angrily looked up at the sky, it's above. The giant toad leapt down from high above, aiming for the spot where Zhao Shao Tian stood. Using the dragon foot technique, he narrowly dodged the massive toad's attack. He cursed inwardly, damn it, if I get too close, it will use long-range attacks. I remember now, toads are quite sensitive to moving objects, so I should aim for its eyes first. With that, he summoned a fire talisman, but at that moment, the toad's front foot came crashing down with great force, sending Zhao Shao Tian flying into a nearby rock wall. He gritted his teeth in pain, thinking, this is not good, as the toad rapidly closed in. This isn't a first-grade demon beast, it's at least equivalent to a second-grade demon beast deputy master. Can I really defeat such an enemy? Just then, Zhao Shao Tian noticed his sword had broken. He held up the broken blade before his eyes, then let out a loud cry, Aya, my sword. Seeing it broken pains me deeply. I just got this today. Still lamenting his broken sword, the toad's long tongue struck again. By the time Zhao Shao Tian noticed, it was too late. He thought, I'm doomed, as the toad's tongue hit Zhao Shao Tian, sending him rolling across the water's surface. As Zhao Shao Tian surfaced, he looked at his hand and said, "Even the fire talisman is useless now. I'm out of options, what should I do?" Staring at his empty hand, Zhao Shao Tian recalled his master's words, "Shao Tian, do you know why you came to the Xiaoyao sect?" Zhao Shao Tian had asked, "Master, didn't I come to learn self-defense?" Shen Piaopeng had angrily poured water over Zhao Shao Tian's head and said, "No, what self-defense? Your grandfather sent you here to practice martial arts. Do you know what's most important in martial arts?" Zhao Shao Tian soaked himself in the seafood hot pot. "No, according to this story, it was medicinal water," then replied, "Talent and luck." Shen Piaopeng explained, "Yes, talent and luck are important, but they are not the most important." Zhao Shao Tian, surprised, asked, "Master, what do you mean?" Shen Piaopeng explained, "Your body fundamentally has perseverance. Even a long road can be traveled step by step, and a short road cannot be reached without walking. A martial artist needs a strong foundation, combined with perseverance and persistent training, to become outstanding. After you finish the medicinal bath and strengthen your body, I will teach you the basic heart technique formula of the Xiaoyao sect." For the next few months, I didn't forget Master's teachings, continuously practicing the Xiaoyao technique. After reinforcing my qi, I obtained this thing. Although I've never seen senior brother use it, and I don't know its power, today I can try it out. The toad stared at Zhao Shao Tian, then launched its tongue at him with incredible speed. Zhao Shao Tian jumped to dodge and struck the tongue with his broken sword, spraying green blood. Using the Xiaoyao technique, he didn't stop, charging towards the toad with the dragon foot technique, thinking, "If I can't pierce through its body, it must have a weak point as a living creature, right?" He swung his arm, powered by the Xiaoyao technique, and struck with all his might. The toad quickly swallowed Zhao Shao Tian whole. As the toad tilted its head back to swallow, less than 3 seconds later, a powerful force erupted from within its thick skin. A massive vortex formed in its belly, causing it to shudder as the spiraling spiritual energy tore through its body, looking utterly horrifying. The vortex didn't stop, extending into the nearby lake, pulling everything in its path. Zhao Shao Tian managed to escape from the toad's belly but was caught in the whirlpool, exclaiming, "What the hell is this?" He struggled to reach the shore, fearing for his life, when Zhu Yuanning appeared. "Junior brother, are you okay? What is this?" Zhao Shao Tian screamed, "Senior brother, help me." Zhu Yuanning grabbed Zhao Shao Tian's hand, saying, "Hold on tight." What happened? After a while, things returned to normal. Zhu Yuanning and Zhao Shao Tian made their way into the forest, with Zhao Shao Tian apologizing, "Senior brother, I've caused you trouble again." Zhu Yuanning reassured him, "There's no need for formality between us." He thought, junior brother has so many unexplained abilities. That Rasengan move earlier is just one example, saying that, I remembered the scene just now, when the water column was created by a tornado. "Senior brother, save me, give me your hand, let's be together forever," and then pulled Zhao Shao Tian out. Out of that dangerous area, Zhao Shao Tian breathed a sigh of relief, thinking he was about to die, but I observed that he was not injured at all. And was all of this really Shao Tian's doing? And yet, there's also the corpse of the toad, which I guess only surpasses the demon beasts of the blue fire wolves. But what I found, wait, is this, a third-grade demon core, a dual-element water and earth core. Am I seeing this right? Junior brother doesn't know he killed a half-step third-grade demon beast. When I asked him, he said he used the Qi technique. But this is beyond what a martial artist can do. It must be related to his protagonist physique. It's hard to explain, better let Master understand. Suddenly, 2 people in the distance were talking, "Hey, I noticed your complexion hasn't been good lately. During the fight earlier, you seemed a bit distracted. You're talking about me? Haven't you been tormented by toxic heat recently?" You think I want this?" If it weren't for that woman having an elder backing her, I would have thrown her down the mountain 6 years ago. Staying with her in the toxic heat has affected my cultivation. The other quickly reminded, hey, be careful with your words, someone might be eavesdropping. The other retorted, who would come to the Demon Beast Mountain range this late? Just as he said that, they heard footsteps approaching. Damn, there really is someone. They turned and asked, who are you? The other added, who cares who they are? Since they've overheard, let's beat them and make sure they don't spread what they've heard. With that, the two rushed forward, intent on silencing them. Zhao Xiao Tian gritted his teeth, two novice fighters. As long as I coordinate with senior brother, we can handle them. However, a hand pulled Zhao Xiao Tian's shoulder back. It turned out that it was Zhu Yuanneng who did it. Just seeing him make a sword move, the other two fell face down to the ground, their heads were pinned to the ground. Painfully thinking, what is the situation? This feeling of oppression. Could it be? Then tried to ask, who exactly are you? Zhao Xiao Tian was currently busy wondering to Zhu Yuanneng's senior brother, why did you stop me just now? Zhu Yuanneng explained, junior brother, there's something I didn't know, in the Xiaoyao sect, no fighting is allowed. Anyone who does anything wrong will have to be punished. Zhao Xiao Tian asked again, but is it possible to ignore it like that? Zhu Yuanneng said again, leave it. Zhu Yuanneng. How can I give you such a bargain? This debt will be recorded first. Hearing this noun, the other two were also afraid to lose their pants. Zhu Yuanneng. They are the sect master's disciples, this time it's tragic. Scene change, Xiaoyao sect's mountain back door. After a while the two also came here. Zhu Yuanneng then said, junior brother, actually I stopped you just now, there was another reason. Every time Qin Air junior sister breaks out toxic heat, this happens, but it is not a problem for a few disciples. Zhao Xiao Tian wondered. What do you mean, senior brother? Zhu Yuanneng didn't answer but said, you'll understand once you enter the barrier. Zhao Xiao Tian stepped into the barrier and was immediately stunned. The scene before him was horrifying. It was a chaotic space filled with characters from Dixie Comics, Manhwa Comics, manga, and anime, all lamenting together. Again with the toxic heat, it stalled my cultivation. Tomorrow I must ask the elder to expel her down the mountain. I'll join you. Who is she anyway? If it weren't for her elder being her grandfather. That's right, expel her. This time we must. It's all her fault. Zhu Yuanneng explained, with the secret realm about to open, fellow disciples are affected. Naturally harboring resentment. Combined with the impact of toxic heat, this is the result. Zhao Xiao Tian, dissatisfied, said, how can this be? It's not junior sister's fault. She already suffers enough suppressing toxic heat with her body, and now she has to endure these rumors in the sect. Senior sister Qin Air is truly pitiful. Looking at everyone, Zhao Xiao Tian clenched his fists in determination, I must do something for senior sister. He then resolutely left, saying to Zhu Yuanneng. Senior brother. Zhu Yuanneng was startled, what? Let's go back. Scene changed to Zhao Xiao Tian's house, where a pile of pills and demon cores lay on the table. Zhu Yuanneng was channeling true qi into Zhao Xiao Tian, repeatedly reminding him, junior brother, maintain your aura. Zhu Yuanneng was sweating profusely, thinking, what's happening? Is the spiritual weapon in the demon core going berserk? Toxic heat is mutating, but today isn't even a full moon. Suddenly, Zhao Xiao Tian opened his eyes and said to Zhu Yuanneng, senior brother, quickly run. Just then, a black pillar of fire shot out. Red lightning appeared over a stone, where a red-haired man in a long cloak was performing a bizarre ritual. He smiled, found it time to cause some chaos. Zhao Xiao Tian's house now had a huge hole in the roof. Zhao Xiao Tian lay on his bed, flames burning on his body. Zhu Yuanneng used sword qi to protect himself, thinking, toxic heat has flared up first. Unless someone is condensing extreme yin energy, this is impossible. How have the masters in the Xiaoyao sect not noticed? Zhao Xiao Tian urgently said, "Senior brother, quickly give me the demon core," reaching out his hand. Zhu Yuanning immediately refused, "No, you've absorbed enough already." He thought, if junior brother absorbs all these demon cores, he might explode and die. But Zhao Xiao Tian, noticing his storage bag, swiftly transformed into a gust of wind, snatching the bag. "There's no time," he said, crashing through the window. Watching Zhao Xiao Tian's retreating figure, Zhu Yuanning realized, externalizing spiritual weapon, when did he advance to martial master? He shouted, "Junior brother, wait." Meanwhile, Zhao Xiao Tian ran desperately, thinking to get as far away as possible. Then, a massive column of fire rose, piercing through the forest and into the sky. Zhu Yuanning stopped, staring in disbelief. What is that? He carefully observed, seeing the fierce black fire column rising, thinking, toxic heat has spread. At the same time, disciples in the sect pointed to the sky, asking each other, "What is that? I don't know which senior is causing trouble now. It doesn't look like anyone in particular." The lively discussion was happening everywhere. Toxic heat was spreading wider and wider, affecting more and more people, leaving everyone stunned. Inside the law enforcement hall, Gu Yuan instructed Qing Er, stay in the room for the next few days, avoid going outside. Qing Er obediently replied, "Yes, Grandpa." Gu Yuan then quickly left, leaving Qing Er alone in the room. With nothing to do, Qing Er jumped onto the bed and hugged a pillow, pondering, "I wonder how Xiao Tian is doing." Suddenly, a disturbance in the sky caught Qing Er's attention. What is that? Inside the elder's hall, the alarm sounded, report to the elder, toxic heat has erupted again. A disciple panicked, what? It has erupted again? Xiao Tonghai, who was relaxing, angrily said, will it ever stop? He then stood up, frustrated, and said, forget it, our sect has plenty of capable disciples, let them handle it this time. The disciple protested, but at this moment, third elder Jiang Lianxi appeared and blocked his path. Xiao Tonghai, aren't you going to manage this situation? This time, toxic heat seems to be different, even the elders have come. Xiao Tonghai also expressed surprise, the elders, what kind of battle could invite those old demons here? Then the scene in front of him made him startled, seeing a group of people, on the shore, under the boat, old and young, men and women, all are present. He sighed, it is indeed a great battle. A man holding a wine jug asked, hey Xiao, I know you are strict with your disciples, but that guy in the sky, do you also want to hand him over to your disciple? Xiao Tonghai replied wearily, the little guy is good, what else needs to be said? I don't want to be questioned by the sect master, at this moment. The sound of the disciple shouting and screaming, oh! Can't move anymore, the spiritual weapon has become very strange, run quickly, run fast. Suddenly, a drop of toxic mucus from the toxic heat in the sky fell, and when it hit the ground, it exploded, making the disciples terrified. Suddenly, something seemed to come to life on that pile of mucus, a female disciple paled, oh! It's demon beasts, why are demon beasts falling from the sky? These are the toxic heat demon beasts, level 2 danger. Seeing the toxic heat demon beasts approaching, the disciples trembled and begged for mercy. Don't come, who will help me? After speaking, the toxic heat demon beasts rushed forward to attack. At this moment, a girl quickly rushed in and immediately slashed at the toxic heat demon beasts with her sword. Quickly, the toxic heat demon beasts were chopped into pieces. The disciples exclaimed to each other, look, isn't that Ho Lian and Lu Lian, the disciples of the three elders? Yes, it's really them, we've been saved, Lu Lian said to Ho Lian. Sister, the enemy is not easy to deal with. Then countless sparks lit up again. Ho Lian gently slashed with her sword, then explained, don't worry, these are just illusionary demon beasts transformed by the toxic heat. They are not strong, there is nothing to fear, let's fight together. Lu Lian praised, "You still have a wide knowledge, sister," and then Lu Lian and Ho Lian attacked the beasts together. Meanwhile, Zhao Shao Tian sat exhausted on the ground. Absorbing so many demon cores is still not enough. I have to do something before passing out. Suddenly, a voice of toxic heat called Zhao Shao Tian, "Little guy, I've been waiting for you, I told you I would come back." Then, toxic heat appeared in the form of Zhao Shao Tian, exuding a menacing aura. Change scene, inside the divine weapon giant spirit ship, the Grand Elder Shao Tong Hai is observing the situation, watching a group of disciples fighting. He thinks to himself, toxic heat demon beasts on the ground can be handed over to the disciples, it's not a big problem, but up in the sky. Then he orders loudly, "Bu Lao, open the formation." Bu Ziping is one of the 10 elders. He shouts, "Hey, I've been working on this for a year, and I want to leave it in the secret realm for later use." Shao Tong Hai angrily shouts, "If I tell you to open it, then just open it, why do you have so many words?" Bu Ziping is annoyed, "It's really annoying, if I had known earlier, I wouldn't have come." Then he says in disgust, "Anything happens, I don't care about it." Immediately, a formation is opened, preparing to confront the toxic heat. On the other side, the toxic heat says to Zhao Shao Tian, "Little guy, I told you I would come back." Suddenly, as if sensing something, toxic heat turns to Zhao Shao Tian and says, "It seems that your fate is not very good, someone can't wait for the full moon night and already wants to die." Zhao Shao Tian retorts, "You don't need to talk so much, this is not the world for you to stay, go back to where you came from." After saying that, Zhao Shao Tian flew towards toxic heat and attacked. Immediately he unleashed a series of attacks towards toxic heat, then spun around and delivered another blow. Toxic heat struggled to defend himself, as Zhao Shao Tian continued to attack. Toxic heat managed to defend himself and said, "Good, your martial arts have improved, but you still lack a little fire." Then, a giant monster with a huge mouth rushed towards Zhao Shao Tian, swiftly swallowing him whole. The monster laughed triumphantly, but then the smile faded as he felt a sense of confusion. "I can't feel the real devour, could it be?" At that moment, a ray of holy light appeared from within the flames. Gradually, a hand emerged, and Zhao Shao Tian was still alive, tearing through the flames as if emerging from a curtain. Zhao Shao Tian then immediately punched toxic heat in the face. "This little guy can actually neutralize my devour." Toxic heat was left with a twisted mouth after being punched by Zhao Shao Tian, then he increased his martial arts power, and the spiritual weapon transformed into a ring, punching toxic heat into the corner post, causing it to shatter. At this point, toxic heat was nailed to the post by Zhao Shao Tian. He lay motionless. Toxic heat thought, "Can I really be injured just by relying on the cultivation of martial master and demon core spiritual energy fusion? Have I really become this weak in the past 100 years? This feeling of humiliation, little guy, don't make me really have to take action." Seeing the changes in front of him, Zhao Shao Tian also had to be shocked. "This is..." Then toxic heat transformed into a strange form, and Zhao Shao Tian thought to himself, "Not good, it has shown its true body." Then he used the dragon footwork to quickly distance himself from toxic heat. Toxic heat smirked when he saw it, trying to run away. "Not that easy." Then he opened his mouth, spewing out flames towards Zhao Shao Tian. Because toxic heat's speed was too fast, it caught up to Zhao Shao Tian, who panicked and thought, "I'm dead." Then a roll of fire spewed out from toxic heat's mouth. Zhao Shao Tian, hit by the fire, panicked and said, "I'm going to die, I'm going to die, my spiritual body is torn apart, I never thought I would die in this place." After speaking, Zhao Shao Tian's soul completely dissipated. The protagonist's soul has shattered, it's over. Just kidding. A dot of fire appeared again, and Zhao Shao Tian's soul continued to gather. Zhao Shao Tian smiled secretly and thought to himself, "I'm still alive." Even when he returned to the mortal world, Zhao Shao Tian was still surprised. Toxic heat was equally surprised. "It's impossible." How could you withstand my full force attack, little guy? How is that even possible? Zhao Shao Tian was still a bit dazed, looking at his body, then he infused spiritual energy into his arms and said happily, "Now it's my turn to retaliate." Toxic Heat sneered, "Retaliate? Do you still have tricks up your sleeve? Even with a spiritual weapon demon core, how much can you endure? Just obediently let me devour you." After saying this, numerous heads with sneering mouths and glaring eyes appeared. Zhao Shao Tian sighed in frustration, "I'm not delicious meat, am I? What kind of trick is this? No matter, I'll take my chances with you." Suddenly, Zhao Shao Tian sat down calmly, preparing himself. In another scene, on the divine weapon, Third Elder Zhang Lian she said to everyone, "Where are you all looking? Toxic Heat has mutated again, and the aura is becoming tumultuous. I'm afraid something strange is happening." These words caused Xiao Tonghai to fall into silence, and after a while, he said to Second Elder Zhu Jingzai, "Zhu Elder, come with me." Zhu Jingzai immediately agreed. Changing the scene, on a hill, the red-haired man observed the situation and thought, "What's happening? The spread of toxic heat mutation has stopped." Suddenly, he noticed something. There were two powerful air currents from one side detected. How is that possible? Then he waved his hand and said, "Annoying, it was almost done, I need to deal with that little demon immediately," and then he disappeared. At that moment, sword chi rays continuously struck the spot where the man had been standing, but Elder Zhu Jingzai snorted, "Let him escape," but Xiao Tonghai spoke up, "No, we already found the source yesterday." Then he looked at the destroyed formation on the ground and said, "It seems that there is some unrest within the Xiaoyao sect. It's time, let me start the selection match with this move, don't disappoint me, disciples of Xiaoyao sect," and with that, a huge force shattered the formation. The red-haired man had just run for a while when he realized, the formation has been destroyed, then he looked towards the source of the red light and wondered, is it there? He quickly moved to the location of the red light. In no time, he appeared on a tree branch very close to Zhao Shao Tian's position. He saw Zhao Shao Tian sitting and thought, "Sure enough, the toxic heat mutation is caused by that little guy, I have to deal with him right here." Then he released several red charms, immediately summoning the 5-grade demon beasts, Blood Demon Jiao Long. He waved his hand and said, "Die." Suddenly he sensed something, and stopped because he felt someone's aura. "Damn it. I can't be exposed here, I have to retreat first," he thought, and quickly disappeared into the dark night. At that moment, inside the grove of trees, there was a sudden movement, and then a figure slowly emerged from behind the tree. It turned out to be Gu Elder, who had been hiding nearby. He thought to himself, "I originally wanted to come here to check on the situation of the toxic heat mutation, but I didn't expect to see this scene. Using extreme Yin energy and wanting to harm our disciples, who are you after all?" At the same time, Gu Qing wearing a hat, had entered the forest. "Where are you, Xiao Tian?" Suddenly, she sensed, this aura is the toxic heat mutation, and then discovered the source of the red light, immediately rushing over there. It turns out that inside Zhao Shao Tian's consciousness, toxic heat is still surrounding him. Then a voice growled, "You're still being stubborn at a time like this, wanting to die," and then bit down. At this point, Zhao Shao Tian had used the Xiaoyao formula, with one hand as a shield and the other as a sword, challenging toxic heat to show your true courage. Toxic heat also madly rushed towards Zhao Shao Tian, who dodged an attack from one head, only to be struck by another head from behind. At this moment, Zhao Shao Tian suddenly discovered something strange. The appearance of these things is unexpected. "Break it for me," he attacked directly into a barrier. Suddenly a chain wrapped around Zhao Shao Tian's hand. Then a few more chains wrapped around other parts of him, leaving Zhao Shao Tian astonished. Toxic Heat smugly said, "Little guy, don't waste your energy, these chains can not only seal your actions, but also absorb your spiritual energy and life force until you die." At this point, Zhao Shao Tian was bound, and a fiery flame was directed towards him. He shouted, "Is it not, that comes again?" Then he thought, although I can reluctantly accept it, but there is not much spiritual weapon left on my body, what should I do now? Suddenly a purple butterfly appeared beside him. Zhao Shao Tian wondered, is this aura Qing air? Is she transmitting spiritual energy to me? Outside, Gu Qing air was trying to transmit spiritual energy to Zhao Shao Tian. After a while, Gu Qing air was sweating, thinking to herself, Shao Tian, you must try harder. Gu Yuan stood watching, looking concerned, should this little girl Qing air help the kid? Then he denied, no, we still have to wait a little. Meanwhile, the chains continued to tighten around Zhao Shao Tian's body. He gritted his teeth, thinking to himself, the spiritual weapon is still not enough, I have to start absorbing life force, if I continue like this, I will die. Suddenly Zhao Shao Tian's sleeve was torn off, his arm was at risk of being torn off, he thought to himself, this time is up. Toxic Heat saw that Zhao Shao Tian's arm had been torn off and arrogantly said, the final decision is that I win, I did not expect to waste so much time on this little guy, it's time to go out. Suddenly, Toxic Heat discovered something, it wondered. What's that sound? Zhao Shao Tian's body trembled slightly. After that, the body kept moving. Gu Qing air, seeing this scene, also had to widen her eyes in surprise. She saw the spiritual weapon being continuously absorbed into Zhao Shao Tian's body, and couldn't help but exclaim, Shao Tian. Gu Yuan stood at a distance observing this scene and also had to gasp in amazement, is this a holy body? Toxic Heat was also panicked at this time because the spiritual weapon was being continuously sucked away. This is impossible, the flow of life force has started to stagnate, even reverse flow, it continued to roar, no. How can this be? This is impossible. I am Toxic Heat. I must be invincible. Where is the problem? Then, the life force being continuously sucked away by Zhao Shao Tian, and outside, Toxic Heat was getting smaller and smaller. Ho Lian and Lu Lian said to each other, look, the scope of Toxic Heat is shrinking. Why are these monsters getting more ferocious as Toxic Heat shrinks? Suddenly, a sneak attack on the two. Ho Lian thought in horror, this is not good, when does a sneak attack stop? Seeing the attack coming, she shouted, Junior sister, be careful. However, an ice block blocked the attack. Bai Ling Air coldly said, in front of the enemy, you still look around. Ask, do we still need the internet? Ho Lian shouted, Bai Ling Air said in frustration, it seems like I need to cultivate. In Zhao Shao Tian's consciousness, the harmful force was sucked dry, then turned into a small purple gem. When Gu Qing Air saw Zhao Shao Tian's body no longer trembling, she thought, it seems to be over, but suddenly she realized that someone was missing behind the bushes and exclaimed, that is, Suddenly, Zhu Yuanneng ran over and said loudly, is that Qing Air? Gu Qing Air was startled and said in surprise, oh, brother, why are you here? Zhu Yuanneng asked in bewilderment, shouldn't I be the one asking you that? Then shouted, wait. Is that the master? Then put Zhao Shao Tian on his shoulder and told Gu Qing Air, quick, there are demon beasts falling nearby, it's not safe, and Gu Qing Air agreed, then, all three of them ran away together. The scene changed to another side, Bai Ling Air used her snow weapon to split the ground in half, the disciples looked on and marveled, no wonder she's called Ling Air's senior sister, her fighting stance is like a fairy. Suddenly Bai Ling Air angrily shouted, hey, you two, do you have time to stand there and not help the other disciples? The disciples immediately heard and thought to themselves as they ran, I didn't expect the arrival of the Marshal General could make the situation here so chaotic. It's unbelievable, but we can win. On the other side, on the divine weapon, the elders began to increase their power, then all 6 elders shouted in unison, Con 2, and immediately spiritual energy struck directly into the eye of Toxic Heat in the sky, and the eye disappeared completely. The people below exclaimed, look, the big eye in the sky has disappeared, victory is ours. Zhu Jingzhe wondered. Did Zhang Lianxi and the others succeed? Xiao Tonghai also agreed, it seems so. Meanwhile, Bai Ling Er worried about the safety of Zhao Xiao Tian and others. As soon as she received the news, she went straight to Zhao Xiao Tian without hesitation. Bai Ling Er quickly arrived at the dilapidated house of Zhao Xiao Tian. As she pushed the door and entered, she saw Gu Qing'er and Zhu Yuanning sitting there. Bai Ling Er called out Xiao Tian loudly. Suddenly, Bai Ling Er felt the atmosphere between the three of them, as if it was telling her not to be here. Gu Qing'er spoke up, "Senior sister has arrived." Zhao Xiao Tian thought to himself, I should stay on the shore, not on the boat. Even though the incident had passed, Zhu Yuanning praised Bai Ling Er, "Senior sister, your outfit is beautiful." At that moment, Gu Qing'er said to Zhao Xiao Tian, you should thank me, or else you would have been buried in the demon beast's stomachs. Zhao Xiao Tian chuckled and said, yes, I have troubled senior sister. Suddenly, there was a crisp, crack sound, and both of them turned to look. They saw Zhu Yuanning being slapped by the senior sister, but the chaos in the Xiaoyao sect did not stop. A few days later, in the herb valley, the herbs that usually grew on the water's surface unexpectedly withered. This was Herb Valley's 24th qi season. Bai Lu murmured, all the herbs within several miles have withered, as if someone had burned them with fire. Why were the ordinary herbs not affected? It's really strange. At that moment, a young man approached and said, it's unbelievable that the toxic heat that has plagued the sect for years has ended like this. Even the sect master had no solution before. This person was Chun Fun, the 24th qi season of Herb Valley. Bai Lu continued to speak. Yes, but if you think about it, over the past few years, our sect has been influenced by toxic heat. Although the cultivation of many disciples has stagnated, our resistance to the fire attribute has also increased. A few years ago, in the competition of the Imperial City, other sects had strong fire attributes, while we did not benefit from it. Chun Fan asked in bewilderment, is this true? Bai Lu also asked in surprise, you don't know? Suddenly, a figure appeared and said loudly, hey you too. This person is Herb Valley's 24th Air Division, Jingzhe. He said, stop talking, who will take this medicine to the sect master's disciple? Bai Lu hurriedly asked, is senior sister Bai injured? Jingzhe said, no. It's the new disciple of the sect master, junior brother Zhao Xiao Tian. Both of them sighed deeply and fell silent. A moment later, Bai Lu spoke up, Haze, I don't know what the sect master is thinking, taking in 2 weak disciples like that, they even got injured, in the end it's still our Herb Valley doing the work. Jingzhe angrily exclaimed, enough nonsense, decide quickly who will go. While the three of them were arguing, suddenly someone stepped forward and said, senior brother, let me do it. This person is Herb Valley's 24th Airborne Ambassador, Gu Yu. Just in time, we just finished our work, reversing time, while Zhu Yuanning was taking Zhao Xiao Tian back. Hurry up, it's not safe here anymore, the outside situation is very noisy, it seems like I was dreaming, a very long dream. Zhao Xiao Tian seemed to enter some kind of memory of Qing Air, here is. Zhao Xiao Tian looked around foolishly, he discovered many strange things, including a girl dressed shabbily, an old man saying to the girl, your natural disposition is very good, from now on you are our Xiaoyao sect's disciple. Another person also said, have you heard, old man, our granddaughter can already practice martial arts. Great. Zhao Xiao Tian continued his journey, still not meeting any disciples. This is Qing Air. Suddenly, before Zhao Xiao Tian's eyes appeared the figure of Gu Qing Air, who was being bullied by a group of children. Hey, kid, what are you doing? Don't come near her, she's a monster, monster, monster. Suddenly there was cursing, so many people bullying a girl, it's really pathetic. The stubborn children laughed, what kind of mixed breed are you? Ugly thing. Qing Air secretly thought, those little demons really only know how to bully others. Suddenly, someone called out to her, are you okay? Wait a minute. Qing Air stopped in her tracks, and a hand gently rested on her shoulder. She quickly pushed the little girl's hand away, leaving her very surprised. The little girl thought to herself, did I scare her? Then she spoke again, you are Qing Er, right? I'm Xiang Hao. Let's play together. After a while, Xiang Hao said to Qing Er, I don't understand why you are so lovely, but they say you are a monster. Am I not a monster then? Qing Er explained, they are referring to the toxic heat in my body. Xiang Hao looked confused and asked. Toxic heat? What is that? Qing Er, looking displeased, said, you don't even know about toxic heat. Suddenly, Xiang Hao pulled Qing Er down to the grass and said anxiously, there's a very large insect over there. Qing Er gently killed the insect and thought to herself, even the insects are afraid, let alone toxic heat. Then Xiang Hao cheerfully said to Qing Er, I heard that recently, there's a lively lantern festival at night. We are going out to play together. On that festival night, Qing Er suddenly got teased and pushed to the ground by some people. Xiang Hao anxiously asked, Qing Er, are you okay? Let's go. At this moment, Xiang Hao was terrified when he saw toxic heat erupting. The girl was horrified and wondered, is this toxic heat? Then, she was also invaded by toxic heat. Some time later, inside the house, a voice was heard, how are you, elder? At this time, Qing Er also heard Gu elder talking to the other person, her foundation is still weak, being exposed to toxic heat at such a close distance, she is destined to not become a martial artist in this lifetime. The other person expressed surprise. How is that possible? Gu elder looked at Xiang Hao and sighed, it's a pity, such a good seedling. Hayes, it's really hard to talk to the girl's family. A few days later, when Gu Qing Er asked about Xiang Hao's condition, he said to Qing Er, don't come here, maybe we shouldn't be close to each other like this. Even I am called a monster now, we shouldn't see each other anymore. Xiang Hao then cried and said, I'm sorry, Gu Qing Er. After this disciple Xiang Hao descended the mountain, Qing Er had also changed. Immediately appeared to be difficult to approach and caused difficulties for others, such as, do not come near me, bring some spiritual fruits here for the young lady. Zhao Shao Tian then discovered another thing, it turned out that getting to know senior brother and senior sister was also because of toxic heat. Suddenly, Qing Er called out senior brother, Zhu Yuan Neng, asking, what's going on, Qing Er? But Qing Er said, don't have to call me senior brother, senior brother is still the same. Zhao Shao Tian silently thought, indeed clumsy. Suddenly there was a call, senior brother, Shao Tian senior brother, brother has been here for a long time. It's time to go home, who are you? Zhao Shao Tian became confused, everyone is waiting for brother over there. Changing scenes, Xiao Yao's lost style, in the disciples' residence, there is a group of people gathering here, Guyu was walking and sighing, finally got in. Next is to find the place of that little guy, find out how the disciple is doing. Suddenly there was a harsh call, hey over there, move faster, don't dawdle anymore. It turns out it was Gu Yuan, the elder, instructing the punished disciples, haven't eaten yet? Over here also have to clean up a bit, sweep clean, they immediately whispered to each other, Gu elder is too scary. Suddenly, Gu Yuan turned to Gu Yu, who was sneaking around, and angrily told him to stop, and then asked where he had come from, why he had never seen him before. Gu Yu was terrified and thought, I'm busted. Then he respectfully said, elder, I am a disciple of Herb Valley, I don't come here often, I am delivering medicine to Zhao Shao Tian, junior brother of the sect master. Gu Yuan was surprised, asking about Shao Tian's medicine and then told Gu Yu to give it to him instead. Gu Yu panicked and said, here. Gu Yuan asked if something was wrong, which made Gu Yu feel silent, then he knelt down and begged for forgiveness, saying he didn't mean to offend the elder. Gu Yuan got angry and questioned why he couldn't relay the message, or if he was worried about being poisoned. Gu Yu immediately said, I dare not, I dare not. Just as he hadn't finished speaking, a teapot fell to Gu Yu's side, and he quickly caught it before politely saying, senior brother just wants me to convey a message to junior brother. Recently, Practicing forbidden cultivation techniques will cause excessive spiritual energy circulation, which can cause damage to the meridians and be difficult to recover from. Gu Yuan snorted and said, "Is that all?" "I know, is there anything else?" Gu Yu immediately said, "That's all," then thought, "This old fox is still being cautious of me, I'll just take it as it comes." Suddenly, Gu Yuan waved his hand and ordered, "Since I see you have some free time, there's a broom over there. Clean up and then leave." On the other side, there was a call, "Hurry up, the newcomer is here, don't just stand there, get to work." Gu Yu picked up the broom and was completely clueless. What's going on here? Switching scenes, inside Zhao Xiao Tian's house, Gu Qing'er hurriedly asked, "Xiao Tian, are you hungry? I brought some spiritual fruit for you, Xiao Tian, senior brother." Zhao Xiao Tian covered his head with a blanket and said, "No, I'm not hungry." Gu Qing'er insisted, "You must be thirsty, right? I can pour you some water to drink." Zhao Xiao Tian. "I'm not thirsty either," Gu Qing'er patiently continued to ask. "So, are you tired, brother?" Zhao Xiao Tian denied it, "No, I'm not," and then the two of them continued their questioning. "Are you still alive?" "Of course." "Is your stomach hurting, brother?" "No, it's not." "Then are you hungry, brother?" "No, I just asked earlier." Just as Gu Qing'er began to feel angry, Zhao Xiao Tian suddenly realized in fear, "Oh no, I've been caught lying, this little girl is going crazy." After a few dry coughs, Zhao Xiao Tian suddenly said, "Qing'er, actually but was interrupted by the echoing voice of Gu Yuan, "Xiao Tian, your medicine is here." At this moment, Gu Qing'er looked at Zhao Xiao Tian with a cold gaze, then quickly grabbed the medicine bottle and said, "Grandpa, let me do it." Gu Yuan was also shocked, "Qing'er, what are you doing?" Qing'er quickly poured a bowl of green medicine and brought it over to Zhao Xiao Tian, then said in a soft voice, "Senior brother, it's time to take your medicine." Zhao Xiao Tian, frightened, said, "Qing'er, I'm fine, I can take it by myself." On the other side, Gu Yuan praised, "This kid has grown up." Zhao Xiao Tian shouted in fear, "Please don't. Senior brother, you are seriously injured, let Qing'er feed you. Come on, open your mouth AA. This part of Xiao Tian is miserable." Suddenly, the spoonful of medicine was shoved straight into Zhao Xiao Tian's mouth. He was bitter to the core, his eyes rolled back from the bitterness. Then he exclaimed, "Oh, this medicine is too bitter." Gu Qing'er angrily said, "Don't me, just swallow it." Shortly after, Zhao Xiao Tian looked up at the ceiling with a vacant look. They finally left. Then he remembered the words of the elder, "Xiao Tian, you are still injured, there's no need to rush cultivation." But he thought differently, "The secret realm will open soon, how can I not cultivate?" It's a good time to see how cultivation has been progressing lately, however. When the spiritual weapon rushed into Zhao Xiao Tian's body, he looked puzzled, "What is this? Is this my inner scenery?" He only saw himself in a vast space and exclaimed, "The spiritual energy is so intense, it must be due to the leftover toxic heat. I wonder what level my strength can reach after refining these things, let's give it a try first." After saying that, he activated the Xiaoyao formula, and the scene in front of Zhao Xiao Tian was a chaotic battlefield. He yelled, "What is this?" Then, he showed surprise as he observed carefully. It seems to be just the larger version of the Xiaoyao formula, the vivid colors are stunning. "Let's see how powerful it is," he said, and then immediately put his finger into it. Instantly, the spiritual weapon was sucked in. Then, from the strange array, the spiritual weapon rushed out in a whirlwind. Zhao Xiao Tian almost dropped his jaw in shock. Then, he panicked, thinking to himself, "Wait, with this absorption speed, can my Dantian handle it? Is it going to explode?" Immediately, a deep rumbling sound erupted. The window was blown open, it was indeed a destructive thing. At this time, the swirling dust gradually dissipated. Zhao Shao Tian struggled to his feet, suddenly realizing that there was a problem on his chest. He cried out, "No, not again," and then burst into tears as he looked at his 2 milk jugs. Then, he thought, the selection competition is about to start, I have to recover quickly, I know how to do it anyway, probably just like last time. And so the forest smashing and mountain breaking began, with continuous explosions. Zhao Shao Tian kept smashing and breaking recklessly. It's not working, it's not working. After seeing that the stone in front of him had no effect, Zhao Shao Tian thought that it was useless in this situation. Then suddenly his hand began to blaze and turned into a red and green flame. This is the toxic heat spiritual weapon. Zhao Shao Tian used 2 fly swords to stab straight into the stone. After the attack, he realized in horror that the flames not only burned, but actually consumed power ruthlessly, making the stone empty. However, the big problem was that the spiritual weapon had been damaged and could not be repaired. I have to find my older brother or older sister, he thought, and then ran away quickly. After recounting the story, Bai Ling Er and Zhu Yuanneng were surprised to discover that Zhao Shao Tian's spiritual weapon was only 95% intact. Bai Ling Er assessed, "Shao Tian, your spiritual weapon is not as it used to be, try to solve the problem by using the transmission power that can cause inconvenience." Hearing this, Zhao Shao Tian cried, "The competition is only 3 days away, can I participate in this condition?" Zhu Yuanneng hesitated for a moment and then said, "Apart from us, who will help you? No one has seen this appearance of mine before, so it's not a bad idea to use a fake identity for my disciple to participate in the competition. It's just that I don't know when my disciple will revert to their original form. I'm afraid it won't last long." Then Bai Ling Er turned to Zhao Shao Tian and asked, "Do you have any other ideas?" Zhao Shao Tian continued to sob, "Well, it seems we have no choice but to do that for now." 3 days passed quickly, and the day of the selection competition arrived at Mingdi Square. Many people had gathered there, and several disciples respectfully greeted Elder Kong Xingqiu. Elder Kong Xingqiu chuckled approvingly, "Ha ha ha, very good, very spirited." Then he thought to himself, after a year of seclusion in the recent toxic heat trial, these disciples' cultivation may have advanced significantly. I wonder how many surprises this year's selection competition will bring. Meanwhile, Zhao Shao Tian had hidden himself in a corner, sighing to himself, "It's lucky that I don't have any acquaintances here. Otherwise, this disguise would surely be exposed. I'm just a speck of dust in this world, if you don't see me, I won't see you either." Suddenly, someone appeared to block Zhao Shao Tian's path, followed by all 4 of them peeking out, looking like the 4 great talents. One person opened his mouth and said, "The junior sister's face looks familiar. I wonder which elder's disciple she is." "Junior sister, don't pay attention to him. May I ask for your name, junior sister?" Then they turned to bicker with each other, "Hey, wait. Clearly, I arrived first. Hey, do you want to fight?" Zhao Shao Tian was sweating from being threatened by these 4. Isn't it, just entering the sect and already encountering trouble? Is this the legendary way of starting a conversation? Kong Xingqiu also had cold sweat at this sight. Here, is this something I should be looking at? The 4 continued to show off their acquaintance. What situation is this? Just now they were disciples full of spirit and in the blink of an eye. This appearance is only seen in the heavens, very rare in the mortal world. Junior sister, truly exquisite. Zhao Shao Tian was also speechless with this group. At this point, the senior elder Xiao Tonghai appeared to reassure Kong Xingqiu, "Don't panic, every year at this time, the disciples will all act like this." Kong Xingqiu was startled and called out, "Senior brother." Xiao Tonghai continued, "This year is no exception." At that moment, a voice was heard from afar, "Hurry, hurry, hurry, it said that a beauty has appeared on Mingdi Square, her looks are even comparable to Bai's senior sisters, if you're late you won't be able to see her anymore." Alternate name said, "Wrong, how can we, cultivators, value appearance? This junior sister must be a talented cultivator." Quickly, take me to see her, I love to see such a genius. At this moment, the excitement spread throughout the sect, everyone wanted to see the beauty, the disciples were like hungry tigers, and wolves waiting for their prey. Everywhere Zhao Xiao Tian went, Zhu Yuanning had to look around, wondering, where did all these people come from? There was a constant chatter around him. Suddenly, Zhu Yuanning was shocked to realize that junior brother, Zhao Xiao Tian exclaimed, "Senior brother, save me." Zhu Yuanning quickly ran over and thought, junior brother is being followed. Then he shouted, "Junior brother, don't be afraid, I will come to rescue you right away." The others were confused, junior brother? Who is he calling? At that moment, the mark on Zhu Yuanning's forehead suddenly lit up, and with all his strength, he rushed into the crowd, releasing a powerful force. Immediately, the crowd was pushed back, and they screamed in pain, "AAA, whose head is so hard?" At this point, Zhao Xiao Tian held tightly onto Zhu Yuanning's arm and softly called out, "Senior brother, there are too many people here." Suddenly, Zhu Yuanning's nose started bleeding, the main reason being that Zhao Xiao Tian's milk bottle had hit his arm. Then Zhu Yuanning again fell into a trance, his nose continued to spray like a stream. Zhao Xiao Tian worriedly asked, "Senior brother, what's wrong?" Zhu Yuanning had lost too much blood and fainted. "What's wrong with senior brother?" The disciples beside them were extremely anxious. "It's Zhu Yuanning again, there's already by senior sister next to him, and now he's trying to steal our little junior sister." At this moment, a person with a sword approached, and the disciples immediately stood up with all their hair standing on end, extremely frightened. Just then, Hong Lian and Lu Lian also appeared, and one of them shouted, "Everyone quickly move aside, Hong Lu Lian goddess has arrived." Suddenly, Hong Lian noticed something, because in front of her was Bai Ling Er's senior sister standing there. Immediately, Hong Lian said to Lu Lian, "Hey junior sister, when the ghost appeared before, we still haven't thanked Bai senior sister for saving us." Lu Lian also respectfully thanked her, "That's right sister, we almost forgot about this. Thank you for saving us, Bai senior sister." Bai Ling Er chuckled softly at this moment. After that, Hong Lian saw a group of fans surrounding her, looking very grand, and said, "No need. Where do so many people come from?" Two disciples sat down on the ground and said, "Are the fairies fighting?" Another said, "I think we should just leave quickly." Suddenly, a person out of nowhere grabbed the two and said, "Ah, Hong Lian, I love both of you," and immediately pushed the two miserable ones away. This person is the disciple of the elder, Xiao Wen, and the crowd said to each other, "He is Xiao Wen, the crazy fan of Hong Lian." Lu Lian angrily scolded him, "Shut up." Suddenly, a ringing sound pierced through the air, breaking the lively atmosphere. It turned out that the elder Xiao Tonghai broke up the crowd. And all the disciples became foolish. Elder Xiao Tonghai said, "It's been a year since we last met, I am very happy to see that your strength has improved a lot. Today is the selection competition for spiritual energy, I hope that you can inherit the Xiaoyao sect, do not be arrogant, do not forget your roots." The disciples immediately agreed, and Zhao Xiao Tian also sighed, "No wonder it's the Xiaoyao sect, it's already stabilizing so quickly." Elder Kong Xing Qiu also spoke up, "Then I will be in charge of this selection process. When I call out a disciple's name, they can step forward." After speaking, he threw out a few pillars in the middle of the martial arts school, starting to announce the rules. "I will assign 6 elders from the outer sect to record this properly. You just need to place your hand on top to check the spirit stones and proceed with the observation. Checking the spirit stones will be based on your spiritual energy, and those with a score over 100 will pass." At this point, the elders from the outer sects had come out of the barrier. The crowd had lined up, and the first person to step onto the platform was Wang Min. With a score of 115, passing. Lu Xiang, 99, fails. Zhang Wei, 65, fails. Those who were disqualified cried out, "Is the punishment so public?" At this point, Zhu Yuanneng was still bleeding from his nose, he put his hand into his chest and said, "Junior brother. Then, he handed a token to Zhao Xiao Tian and said, rely on this later on. Zhao Xiao Tian was puzzled, hey, warrior, did you fake your death to cause chaos? And what about this name? Just then, when the elder read Zhao Hai Tang's name, Zhao Xiao Tian immediately perked up and exclaimed, here, then slowly stepped onto the platform. The crowd saw and began to discuss, quick look, Zhao Jr.'s sister is checking. I wonder if Zhao Jr.'s sister is so beautiful, what will her spiritual energy be like? Zhao Jr.'s sister is of national beauty, if her spiritual energy is not sufficient, then I will protect her,